Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Survivors Complex. We are excited to be back. We have a couple people missing today. Kyle and Rachel both had some personal things to do. I think they're going out somewhere to celebrate their anniversary. So kudos to them and congrats, guys. We'll see you back here in a couple of weeks. Just a couple of announcements before we get started. A reminder that I will not be DMing a game next week. Their normal Survivors Complex will take a brief hiatus next Saturday because I will be out of town. However, Alex will be running a one-shot that day for the rest of us and maybe even myself if I can get good enough internet connection, but we will have to see. But we're all excited about that. We've played in one of his one-shots before, and we all had a really great time for it, so it's awesome that everybody else is going to get to witness it for themselves too. Otherwise, we'll be back the week after that on the 29th to continue our adventure with hopefully, I think, the full party that week. Otherwise, the dice giveaway, I think, is still going on. So I think there are just a few subscribers away or followers away on Twitter. So go on to the UPick Gaming Twitter and follow them if you aren't already, and enter in the chance to win some awesome dice. Otherwise, I think that's all we got right now. Nothing else really going on this weekend. Typical stuff. Check our lineup if you have anything else you want to watch. Otherwise, I think I'll go ahead and start with our recap, and we'll go ahead and jump right in with our teeny tiny party today and see how this goes. So, last time we met here on Survivors Complex, your adventuring party had journeyed back to Thousand Steps after having a brief encounter in the city of Crawling Mists, discovering the portal that lay at the center of it. You were made privy to some secrets of tabaxi culture. You learned that they had some sort of connection or affiliation with the elves or the fey creatures that live in the Twilight Realms. You journeyed back to 10,000 Steps to determine what it was you were going to do next, how you were going to approach this. You decided on a couple different courses of action. Den, you seemed primarily interested in closing the portal, and thus sought to contact your family in the city of Nelsry, a Triton protectorate, in an effort to gain some of their secrets to closing dimensional or planar rifts, being as a big part of your culture. You had a heartfelt reunion with your sister, speaking with her for the first time in many years at this point. The rest of you went about your own business and trying to decide what to do next, and you all came about on a plan concocted to carry out a heist of sorts within the ziggurat once again, deciding to return to the scene of your previous crime and into the Singing Stone archives to translate the scrawlings within, or the elven recordings within. Sadel and Star, the two of you, using some amount of magical abilities granted to you by your companions, were able to, without much incident, make your way into the Singing Stone archives. Sadel, you translated or decided to write... No, you didn't take... I can't remember, did we decide that you took the crystals, or you decided to translate them because you had a limited amount of time? I think you guys just took the crystals.
I think we took them.
Just took them and left.
Okay, so you stealing the 5 Singing Stone crystals made your way out of the Singing Stone Archives and back to gather with your friends who had distracted many of the residents of 10,000 Steps with a rock concert of sorts, and seemed to gain a bit of fame within the city for doing so. So that is where we sort of pick up our session here, with all of you, the six of you, reconvening after the concert and after the heist, back in your quarters that you've been granted by the High Council.
That concert was awesome! So?
Everybody looks to Star and Zadel expectantly.
How'd it go?
Reach into the bag and pull out the stones.
Okay. Zadel reaches
and
in.
then remember that we're in kind of a public place, and then put them immediately back in the bag.
You see for an instant as he pulls out one of the stones, this glowing, sort of radiant blue, sort of azure crystal with some scrawlings, runic scrawlings across the surface of it.
So what'd they say?
Did we didn't actually listen to them all? I know we listened to the first one, but
you listened to the first one to sort of get the gist of it, and then we decided that we didn't have time, so we just swiped the rest without bothering.
Right. We didn't think we had the time to listen to all of them, so we just kind of took them and ran. But if we think this is a quiet enough place, we can sit around and listen to them and experience this all together.
As fun as that sounds, aren't they all like in Elven?
Right. Well, I can translate.
How long do you think it'll take?
How long, Sean? Was the first stone at least?
The first stone that you listened to, probably. I'm trying to think whether you even would have been able to get through all of it. I don't think you had enough time to get through the whole thing before deciding that it was going to take too long. But based on how much time you listened to it for, it's got to be over like 15 or 20 minutes long.
And how many stones are there?
5.
5, so it'd be safe to say it'd be like over an hour.
If they are all, depending on how long they all are, but if they're all over around half an hour long, I mean, it's going to take a couple hours.
Yeah, okay. Well, potentially just based off of this first one, because we didn't get through all of it, it could take several hours.
Well, I ask because, well, I've done a lot of magic today, but if we had a rest, I've got a great spell that I could use and I could help. It lets me understand languages, which is great, and we could cut the time in half. Because I assume we don't want to keep them for very long.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be in our best interest to hold on to these for longer than we need them.
Okay. We'd have to have a rest.
I wouldn't mind taking a rest.
So we could rest, get up really early, and I'll help you?
Sure.
Okay.
I think that sounds great, guys.
If that's what you want to do, but I propose someone keeps watch in case they decide to search all the rooms all of a sudden for some reason.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
I'll take a couple. I'm feeling pretty okay.
Alright.
Barb and Lucius both offer to take watches too if you need extra people. Barb even says, I'm still pretty amped up from the concert. I'd be willing to watch for a while.
If you don't mind.
It's fine. So you guys are all gonna like kind of keep an eye out, give up some alternate shifts so each of you can sleep.
Yep.
So as you all go off to rest, one of you keeping watch, for keeping about an hour's watch at different points throughout the night. For the most part, it passes uneventfully. Most of you have a little bit of anxiety towards the beginning that you're going to be hearing alarm bells or shouts of panic out in the streets from the disappearance of these stones. However, it seems, as far as you can tell, that it's gone unnoticed at this point. Each of you sets up to take your watch, resting near the door for about an hour. The silence sort of droning on, the flickering of the flames kind of lulling you into a half-awake state, but for the most part, it's uneventful. Star, as you finish your watch, Den coming in and relieving for you heading off to sleep, you sort of crash onto your cot back in your room. You can see a bit of the light coming in from around the corner, but otherwise it's dark, quiet. Not much noise coming in from outside. As you lay your head down, you begin to fall into your sleep. Darkness overtaking you. You don't know how much time passes, but what must be a few hours later, and it's still just pitch black in your room. You hear this muffled noise that stirs you from your sleep. It sounds like a voice being sort of spoken or muffled by sheets or cloth or something. As you stir out of your half sleep, you peer around and you realize the noise seems to be coming from your bag.
I as gently as possible pick the bag up and put it on my bed.
Okay.
What I then do is sit on the bed and put my sheets over my head, sort of covering myself in the bag.
Okay.
And then hoping that'll muffle whatever's in there somewhat, I will peer open the bag, dagger in hand ready just in case.
So like a kid trying to read comics after your parents have told you to go to bed, you bring this pillow or this blanket forward above you, take out a dagger and open their bag. As it opens and your stuff pours out onto the bed, you see the noise sort of clarifies, and you hear this whispering speaking out to you, and it seems to be resonating, and it sort of clarifies as you place your hands under the iron coin that you have in your bag. And the voice says, "Hello? Are you there?"
Hello?
You answered. I don't have much time. I know these magics the Council seeks to obscure from you. I can help you close the portal.
Who is this?
It's not safe to say. I'm here to help. I don't have much time. Meet me in the caverns a mile north of the city. A torch will mark the way.
When?
Soon.
Very well. I put the coin back down on the bed. It's like, where have I seen this coin before? Like, well, have I seen it before?
You have. Yeah, you picked it up a while back. I'm gonna have you make a history check to try to remember exactly where you got it.
I was just looking at my sheet on the page I needed. Why did I change it? Seven.
Picked up a lot of things in the last few months. You definitely remember taking it from somewhere, though. Where exactly eludes you right now.
Instead of putting the coin back in my pack, I am going to instead sort of just put it into a pocket for now and sort of lay awake for a bit and hope sleep takes me again this night.
Okay. You, as disconcerted as you may be from this ordeal, you do eventually find a bit more rest before the morning light comes. The rest of your evening's passing without much incident. Eventually all of you waking and coming out to the common area to eat and discuss your event, the next events of the day.
I do my prayers.
Of course.
We have a prayer circle
Yeah.
every morning.
Yeah, between Sadel and Den and Lil and Barb, all gathering together and praying to your respective deities.
I'm sitting in the corner smoking on my pipe.
So, we doing this?
Yeah, let's get to work.
Quick question first. Have any of you seen this coin before? I found it in my pack last night.
Have I seen that coin before?
Yeah, we.
More
Man,
history
you guys are
check?
gonna make me think about who was there when this happened. If any of you actually remember where it came from, I'll say your characters do, but if none of you remember, all right. I'll say the rest of you can make history checks with disadvantage. Because if I remember the circumstances right, I think most of you weren't really paying attention. Your characters, not you. You guys all paid attention.
I got a 7.
7.
I got a whopping 3!
I got a -1. This is the best day ever.
Oh,
a shiny-
man.
Story checks out. Story checks out.
-1. I don't remember what coins are.
Yeah.
What is money?
Oh man. But yeah, you it eludes you. You haven't seen it before.
We're off to a great start, you guys.
It's gonna be a great game.
No, I've never seen it.
It's pretty. Does it
Yeah.
do anything?
I apologize, there are really loud fireworks going on outside. I can't close my windows any more than this, so
It's
slightly
not
out of my
actually-
control.
Yeah, I can't really hear him that
It's not
much.
bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Yeah,
Fair
it's
enough. So, strange story. It may have just been a dream. I woke up in the night, and a voice told me to go to a cave roughly a mile north to look at some things.
What things?
Something to do with some magic in the local vicinity.
So, did you go?
Well, it was the middle of the night, so I thought better traveling even just a mile through the jungles because those giant gorillas can really roam.
Fair enough.
I still do not believe these giant gorillas exist. Lucius says.
Ah, Prince Sinstol. When did you get here?
No, that was Lucius. Sorry.
Oh, it was Lucius.
Yeah,
They have the same voice.
they do. Sorry, I'll modulate it a bit more.
forgot they had the same accent till you were doing it.
Yeah.
Can I see it?
I pass her the coin.
Okay. Pass
I
the
look
coin.
at it.
Yeah, it's actually pretty large. It's not like your typical small coin. It's more like a disc almost. And it doesn't have a make you really recognize. It seems to have some sort of shape or something on it, but it's faded and worn and doesn't really resemble much of anything except just an iron disc.
I hold it up to my ear and see if it whispers like the idol does.
Okay, hold it up to your ear. It's not making any noise.
I don't know.
So, perhaps after we've done our business we need to this morning, I can take you on a trip to the jungles. It'll definitely be safer through the day, and you could get to know the local area a bit better.
That sounds awesome, but did you recognize the voice?
Did I recognize the voice?
No, sounded. It was definitely feminine. It sounded like a woman. Couldn't tell like an age or a race from the voice. She was speaking in common. Couldn't really get much from it, but no, it wasn't a voice you recognized.
I have no clue who it could have been. I've been trying to think about it all night. Maybe I found this in the ruin somewhere. Maybe it could have been elsewhere. I don't know.
Maybe it's worth going to the cave. If we all go.
I'm okay with that.
Wonderful. Lucius, maybe I'll be able to show you one of these giant gorillas finally.
He just sits there with his arms folded and says, "You can do whatever you want. I don't believe they exist. You'll have to show me. I'm not getting my hopes up."
Alright. Shall we figure out what these orbs are all about?
Let's get to it.
So, well, I have a question though. Because we're not going to remember everything they say. You want to like write everything down?
I think that'll probably be our safest bet, at least shorthand, so we can get the important things.
Alright. I'm a really slow writer. So... I was thinking maybe if somebody else isn't doing anything that I could just like tell them what it's saying and then they could write it down.
I could do that. I've been trying to learn Elven anyway. If I could have a listen to the stone afterwards as well, it may help my understanding.
Alright. I just don't... I'm not real fast at writing. And you won't be able to read it. So... Teamwork.
Yeah.
So you're going to, or I guess Sadel and Den, you're going to dictate what these stones are saying, and Star, you're going to transcribe them so that you guys have an accurate depiction of what everything says.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I'm gonna cast tongues on myself.
Okay. How long does that last for?
An hour.
Okay. You plan on using it more than once?
We'll see.
Can you use it more than once?
I can use it twice. It's a 3rd level spell.
Okay. All right. We'll see how much you get through with 2 of them. Luckily, Sadel does speak it. So, are you? Well, here's my question: since you both have it, are you both going to take a different one and work on that, or are you?
That was the plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
To cut down on our time. Den just has an intelligence of 7.
Yeah. No, that definitely works. So
yeah.
So I'd say with the 2 of you and with your spell, the 2 of you can get them done. If Sadel does probably a little bit more and goes for a little bit longer, with you casting it once and him doing it, and him just doing it on his own, it probably takes about an hour and a half total. And so for the next hour and a half, the 2 of you sit down, taking these crystals. Now you don't have any order to them. Sorry. Yes.
Lil just wanted to check in.
Hey, Dan, you know that spell you did that like made everything silent outside our door? Do you think can you do both of those spells at once? Like, I worry that somebody may come on the room and I don't know, maybe it's a silly worry, but it was something.
I think so.
I don't think tongues is a concentration spell.
Oh, neither of them are. Before we start, I will ritual cast silence. Well, it doesn't last for that long.
Yeah, and that's gonna be
Okay.
10 minutes
It
to
lasts
cast.
for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Then never mind. I would say he.
I just realized that. That was a good thought, but it doesn't last long.
No worries. I just how about, because I'm not going to be very useful to everybody, I'll just listen by the door to see if there's anybody coming.
That's a good idea.
Okay, that's what I'll do.
Okay. So you each take your places, and you sit down with the crystals, going to listen or interpret the language and figure out what their purpose is. So you have each of the crystals. You don't have an order they're supposed to be in or anything, because once they were thrown in the bag, they're really indecipherable from one another. So most of the time is spent dictating what's being said without a lot of context to it. And it's not until both of you come together at the end and begin to read out the pieces and find some sort of chronological order that you figure out what these crystals are. And the first four of the crystals are a historical diary or ledger. And you notice that each one of the crystals seems like it is broken off from a larger piece. In Sadel, you get this impression that this sort of memory magic, whatever was used to create them, you get that elven feel from it, mainly because they're speaking in Elven, and it's pretty obvious from that. But you imagine this must have been a part of some much larger structure used to capture the entire history of this culture. You learn the first crystal begins sort of halfway through a story of a people arriving in a strange world, having journeyed through desert and jungle and ice and fire, making it to a vibrant and life-filled terrain, sitting at the center of a sprawling landscape of luscious trees and fertile soil, and sort of the joy and the prosperity that would come from finding home here. These elves who walked the world of Sarthia, looking for a home, having been cast out from their homeland for one reason or another, finally finding home here. The sporadically throughout the telling, they refer to dates, to exactly like they sort of begin each entry into this ledger, describing the day and the cycle of the year. And from what you're able to gather as far as when this occurred, it was probably close to 8,000 to 10,000 years ago, far, far in the past. You learn through reading the story as they build their city and reconstruct atop a grand mountain at the center of this continent. How they built a city that flourished on the study of magic and used the forces of the arcane to improve upon themselves and improve their lives. How they had a small population to begin with, and built upon their society this equality that each would flourish through the use of magic. You move on to the next crystal, and it speaks of the continuing existence of this culture, how their society had grown, how the elves that had journeyed here to begin with had long perished, but that their hallmarks, their imprint upon the society still flourished and still was present to this day. There's a little bit of seeming discord within the message, describing the overpopulation of this city and as it begins to expand, as these things do. But that though there were some social disparities, the central tenets of the society were continuing to improve. The third of these crystals begins by dictating or describing some sort of wonderful innovation, some sort of miracle that had occurred within the city. That some person or some group had created or discovered an entryway, a door to another place, to another realm. This crystal, or the person dictating this, though the voices change throughout every telling of this story as you continue to listen to it, discusses how there was sort of this mass, not really hysteria, but amazement by the lands beyond, this vibrant landscape, more rich in magic and more prosperous than anything they could find here. And that the study of this land, which they begin to refer to as the land of the Fae, they discuss that the potential that the magics that permeate this plane could have on their society, and that they could prosper in this place. The fourth crystal is a little darker and a little more frantic than the other two. It's shorter. It seems to be almost the conclusion of this this tale, or this recounting of history. This person discusses. Hold on, the music just changed. Hold on. I don't know why I did that. This person discusses how this grand utopia that they were heading towards was nothing but a lie, how a select few of the elven society had ventured through the portal, and how many more of the society had been barred from doing the same. How they wished to rebuild these few people, these elites had wished to rebuild their city, realizing that the magics of this world would grant them a form of immortality, that there would be no need to have every member of the society join them, and how it would only impede upon or further intrude upon their prosperity. This person speaks with resentment and contempt towards their peers, and how they have been abandoned by their king and queen. This one ends, and you listen to the last of the crystals, and this one is different. While the others all look to be a piece of a larger form, this one looks separate, as it was created for a different purpose. And you recall seeing this crystal placed sort of at the center of the others in the Stone Speaker archives, because it is distinct from the others. And listening to this one, this one does not seem to be a recounting of history, but more instructions. It refers to a calamity that befell the elves that remained on the continent, how the city had been destroyed, how nothing remained, and how the portal, the doorway, must be protected. The portal discusses, or it says in sort of instructional speaking to somebody directly, that you are the protector. You will watch the doorway. You will stand guardian to our home and ensure that none intrude upon it. And for this, we will share our prosperity with you. It speaks that as payment for this goodwill, you will give upon us one child from each of your households, each of your clans, that will serve under our eternal glory in the Shining Mountains. And that seems to be the conclusion of these crystals.
Sean, did I hear anybody walk by during that whole time?
Some people went by in the hallway. Nobody stopped at the door. Nothing that sounded suspicious.
Cool.
Well, I was listening because I was listening out the door. Did it help anything? Or does it pretty much everything we mostly know?
It definitely shed some light on our situation.
We now have a more in detailed history, maybe something to look at if we go check out any more of the ruins.
Think we'll be welcome back there?
I doubt it, but you never know.
The ruins are tied to our artifacts. We don't know if these artifacts are directly tied towards whatever other presence exists yet. But I'm assuming that the calamity it spoke of was what we saw in the vision we all had.
This is messed up. I don't like any of this.
It seems bigger than I think even the prince thinks it is.
He definitely doesn't know everything that's going on here. Perhaps our next destination may shed more light on things.
We should get these stones back though, right?
It's too dangerous during the day. Much more chance of me being seen. Like, my people can see in the dark anyway, but there are just generally going to be more people about.
And I mean, we talked about it before, but now that we know what they say, I mean, this is proof that they're doing something really bad. And I mean, a bunch of notes on paper about it aren't gonna convince anybody, but they could hear it.
It depends if the people could understand Elven. You have your spells, but casting that may just seem suspicious to anyone who could be played as such.
Well, the only people we have to convince is the council. And I'm making assumptions here, but my assumption is that if they had these things, that they understand what they say. And if they know we understand, then
If we just go to the council and they know, they'll just put efforts into silencing us.
Well, no, I don't think we should just, like, go right now, but... if we go and accuse them of this kind of thing, and we say, oh, we know about stones and we don't have them, what's keeping them from just destroying them and saying those don't exist?
I have an idea, and I don't know how good of an idea it is. Sadell, you and Star have been in that room. How awfully often did it seem that room was occupied? Like, did it seem like people were in and out cleaning or whatever? And
would we? Well, we never really looked at the time, so would we be able to make a check to see if we do know that information?
I'll say, as far can't necessarily make a check now, but based on your previous journey into that room, it wasn't like full of dust or anything. It wasn't like, this room hadn't been touched in years. It didn't seem like, based on the door and the wear and tear to everything, it didn't seem like it was open very often. But it did look abandoned.
It seemed abandoned, but no dust, nothing was coated or... It's checked on, I'd say, regularly, but never to any great extent.
Obviously not every day.
yeah, so I guess here's my idea. Do the stones just emanate the voice, or do you have to, like, touch them? I don't know, I didn't pay attention.
You have to touch them to hear the voice.
Okay. Well, here's my idea. Sadell, you're really good at making things. Could we, like, make fake stones and put those in there so, like, if people went in to, like, look at them, look, they're stones, and then we can hold on and have our insurance?
I'm mostly good with mechanical things. I don't really think I could make magic stones.
Well, I'm not saying you make actual magic stones, but, like, something that looks like magic stones.
So,
Sean, do I think that I might be able to come up with something?
There are two things that I think I'd require for something like this, and that would be jewel crafting, like somebody had like gem cutters tools, things like that, or like forgery. So if anyone is proficient or has skills to do either of those things, it sort of would just be guesswork. Plus you'd have to find giant blue crystal to make it with. So actually crafting something that was really similar, you imagine, would be pretty difficult. Not impossible, but pretty difficult.
What I figured, but I thought I'd ask just to be safe.
It's good to ask.
Well, I'm not very familiar with where to get any sort of gems or stones that look like this, and I don't really have anything to cut them with and shape them with, so...
Oh, okay. Well, like I said, I was just spitballing.
Yeah. It's a good idea, though.
I just don't know if we should give them up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you, Den. Like, if we give them up to make it look like we did take them, and then we go and we're like, hey, we know what you're doing, then all of a sudden the stones disappear, and it's our word against theirs.
You're muted, Alex.
I apologize. If we keep them, there's no telling that they'll come look in everyone's room straight away. I'm sure there'll be a much wider sweep search. They also don't know we have the bag of holding.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason for them to think that we did anything. We sort of did that on purpose, that's why everybody was sort of seen out in the city last night. I think we should keep them.
We'll keep them and have to stay on the lookout, but
Yeah.
now they should all stay in the back.
I also had another thought. So it's gonna be a bit still before the Evrandal delegation arrives. Is this something they should know about?
I think we need to tell them that everything's definitely not as it seems. That there's not just Ondak here and Evrandal at play here, there's something else.
We also...
There's something else, but I don't trust the delegation. There's something definitely not right with their trade proposals.
Yeah, that was weird. But, I mean, also, one of the outcomes of this very well could be that Ondak here goes away. And, I mean, it's not really our business. I don't really care one way or another what Evrandal does, but there are people in the delegation that I sort of like, and that were nice to us, and I don't want them being put in a situation that's dangerous.
If we can contact them, we should probably let them know that there's something amiss. But also, if we're going to go check out that cave, we don't need you being burnt out of spells.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to be here for like at least another week, so we don't have to do it right now. I just wanted to say maybe they should know they're not just walking into a bunch of like nice people who are just gonna welcome them. Like, these people kidnap kids and stuff, so it's not great, and there's like portals to other planes and things.
Yeah, I think we could give a warning, but maybe play dumb like we haven't figured out just quite yet what it is.
Maybe once they're a couple of days out, I could send a message and just say something is amiss. We're still here. Be careful when you get here. We'll tell you more in person. That kind of thing.
Yeah. And just hold on to the information we have until we really need to say it.
Yeah.
I am going to start scribbling a quick note, and as I am doing so, also cast my illusory script spell.
Alright.
Basically tagging the rest of the party as the people who can read the actual note. The note itself, it looked like to anyone else, it just looks like some instructions on dealing with tabaxi throughout the city at different levels. What it really says is perhaps we shouldn't tell the prince all of the information we have. And like when I'm finished writing it, I just pass it around to everyone.
Yeah. When you said you were tagging them, all I got in my head was just like @den, @Saddle.
Yeah, that's how you have to do the spell. You just like the @ symbol and the name so they can read the actual note.
Illusory tweets.
DM me, bro.
Is the prince... Okay, wait. Is the prince here?
No, the prince went to figure out what the Yuan Ti ambassadors were doing.
Just want to make sure that he wasn't like hanging around.
Yeah, because he has to open the door to get into the room, right? Like, he's all invisible, but as far as we know, he has to like have an opening in.
Well, we do know he can teleport. He's not a vampire. We don't have to invite him in.
Well, no, I know we don't have to invite him in, but he's like knocked on the door in his invisible form, and we've had to open the door for it.
We do know he can teleport though.
Okay.
Because he's teleported all of us. Not very well, but...
As far as you know, he's in there right now.
There's someone in the room! There's someone in the room!
The illusory script is coming from inside the house!
Alright. Gonna...
After they've all seen the note, I'll actually give it to Sadel for safekeeping. Just and just say, keep it as a general reminder. Nothing's right currently.
Alright, are we gonna go to this cave?
We might as well.
All right. So the 6 of you leave the room. It's now close to or just after midday. You imagine a mile through the jungle won't take you too long, probably about an hour or so. You head out from the ziggurat, make your way through the city streets and leaving the gates to the north of 10,000 steps. You begin carving your way through the thick jungles as you make your way to an elevated bit of terrain, something that, Star, you'd be familiar with, that there are some caves over in that region, though the message was vague. It was sort of, it's pretty recognizable where this person was referring to. As you make your way through the 45 minutes to an hour pass without too much trouble in the jungles, other than some snakes, birds, and things like that, sort of spooking you every now and then. Don't spot any giant gorillas, unfortunately. It's just not sure. And Lucius the entire time was just walking towards the back saying, "That's what I said, that they do not exist. I know when I am being duped, and I know that there are no such thing as giant gorillas." As you finally make your way to the base of these hills, you looking up, you can see this rough and jagged landscape with trees kind of protruding out at odd angles, and a number of kind of fissures and caverns leading back into it. I'll say we make a perception check. I'll make 2 for the others.
Nat 1 for a total of 5.
18.
Nice.
18.
Nice.
9!
Okay. The 18s have it at the highest then. As you scan, even though it's sort of the middle of the day, and it's hard to really make out much in the way of like light sources around, both of you catch a bit of smoke drifting up over towards the east or west, the west of where you are, and you can see kind of raised up there is something sort of a little bit of smoke drifting away from one of the caverns up there.
I see smoke.
I was told the torch lights the way.
Okay.
Alright.
So you begin making your way up the steep hillsides, pushing your way and climbing your way to the top. You have to occasionally climb up some steep, those of you that aren't tabaxi, have to climb up some steep handholds using vines and other bits of the terrain to guide you, unless Sato wishes to use his magic rope to ascend you all to the top.
Yeah.
I
definitely do.
Okay, so you guys use the magic elevator as the rope ties off the top, and one by one lifts everyone up to the top of the cliff. Star, once again, I assume, sort of following the rope as it's dangling.
Yeah, I'm just following the rope, batting at it as it's above me.
Eventually, you all push your way to the top of this ledge here, and you come into or upon a rather large cavern, probably about 30 feet tall, close to 40 feet wide, leading into just a dark interior. There's a little bit of light that you can see inside. You can see some boulders and stalagmites and stalactites jutting off from the interior, and stuck in the ground just outside of it there is a torch burning pretty intensely, soaked with oil, giving off a black smoke that's drifting up towards the sky.
Well, we're here. I just going after saying that.
Okay.
I follow.
You all begin to enter, pulling yourself or not really, you're not climbing anymore. So pushing inside, cautiously looking around. Eventually, the sounds of the terrain around you, the squawking of birds in the jungle, begin to subside, and you just hear that a dripping noise coming from within, the kind of howling of the breeze outside, kind of pushing against the mouth of the cave. As you push in about 80 feet or so, you finally reach an area where there is a steep ledge, mostly blocking your path. It's not too high, and it leads to darkness beyond. You can see the top of the cavern is beginning to recede down. You imagine there's some sort of back, or it's narrowing as you go. As you reach this point, Star, you're holding the coin in your pocket. Hear a whispering speaking to you again. None of the rest of you hear it, but it says, "Why is that you? Are you here?"
I'm here. I brought my friends.
Good. As she says this, you hear footsteps coming from above you, or from the top of the ledge, and you see a woman come stepping to the edge. She looks to be like middle-aged. She looks human. Long, silvery hair, and beautiful, with a kind of alabaster skin. Sort of strikes you, this person living out here in the caves. Her clothes do not match her appearance. She has sort of kind of dingy brown robing, and kind of pulled up around her. She looks down. She says, "It's good to meet all of you finally."
I'm guessing you've been paying attention to us for a while then.
Ever since you found my trinket. I'm afraid the person I trusted it to lost it. And, well, I'm sorry I've been listening in on all of you. Well, you specifically, as she nods towards Star.
Hi, I'm Lilibet. Who are you?
Ashwin. She looks around sort of frantically, and you know that there's something wrong in this place, don't you?
A magic that's, well, a doorway to another realm. Children, marked ones being kidnapped for some purpose to serve.
That is only the beginning of it. You know about the other children missing too.
Yeah.
Ones that have disappeared in the woods.
From the Oni?
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
We've had one experience with disappearances in the wood. Among all the tabaxi, there are various stories about what goes wrong in the woods. Children being taken after seeing strange creatures, lights in the forests.
I know
Fairies.
I know the tales you're telling. My own children have been taken as a result. That's why I'm reaching out to you. You can fix this.
Can I insight check her?
Sure.
15.
15. Everybody else take your headsets off for a second.
Oh no!
Alright. You peer at her closely, and she has a genuine sort of feel to her at first. As you peer, though, and her eyes darting back and forth, you get the impression that she's excited about something.
Oh.
Like there's a slight kind of reverberation of excitement to what she's saying that the words don't really resonate with her tone of voice and the inflections.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Can I just kind of can I sort of give the cave where we are kind of a once over, look around, see if I see anything else?
Sure.
Anybody else?
Yeah, make a perception check.
Also, I am going to go climb up the ledge to actually talk to this person face to face instead of with a massive gap between us.
Okay.
21.
Okay. So Star goes and begins to scramble up the side.
And I grab him, pull him back.
Okay.
I
She goes and you feel Den sort of grab onto your shoulder as you go. Do you resist or?
I stop and look back at her.
I try to say quietly, don't get close to her. Something's wrong.
You peer around and you don't really notice anything. You don't see anything in your general vicinity, hidden or otherwise. You do, however, feel a slight tremor. It's sporadic. She sees you stop Star and kind of the look you give him, and she looks down at all of you. She says, "Well, I see you don't trust me. It's fine, I don't trust you either. Especially not after you murdered my sons. Fine then. We'll do it this way." And you watch as the woman before you begins to shift, and you watch as the illusion sort of dissipates. Instead of this sort of comely looking woman standing before you, you see her form seems to grow as the true image of her is revealed, nearly the size of an ogre, standing close to 10 feet tall, though her form is hunched. Her appearance is disturbing in itself. She has large warts across her face, one eye that's almost like swollen shut, one large white one with a single black pupil in the center. Her neck is veined and thick, and her arms as large as tree trunks, kind of drifting down to each side with long fingers with jet black claws curling at the end. Her clothes kind of meld with her, and you see throughout her form these branches kind of growing around her, working their way through skulls that are adorning her body. She looks down with this gnarly grin and she says, "Kill them." And that reverberation suddenly intensifies, and all of you feel a as a larger shape looms out of the darkness. This giant standing before you, nearly 25 feet tall, dragging a large club behind him, rotund with kind of flabs and rolls around his neck. He looks down and brings up his club and slams it into the side of the cave. The whole cave shakes, and you all look up and you see this spider web crack forming along the top of it as pieces of rock begin to fall down upon your group. I need everyone to make dexterity saving throws.
15 for Lil.
11 for Star. Guys, I think my dice rolls have gone back to sucking.
I rolled a 10.
I am going to use my magic helmet and automatically succeed.
Okay. So what did everybody roll again? What are the totals? So success from Dylan, from Sadel.
Lil got a 15.
15.
11 from Star.
11 from Star.
And 10 for Den.
10 for Den. Okay. So, Lilibet and Sadel, the two of you leap forward, sort of rolling up to the side of this ledge, avoiding any of the debris. Den and Star, the two of you rolling to keep up with them, kind of skidding to the ground. You both feel yourselves like impacted hard with rubble and rocks as you lurch forward. Each of you taking 8 points of bludgeoning damage. Not a whole lot as you leap forward. However, you turn back and look towards Barb and Lucius as they sort of, you see them look up and pull backwards, and the rocks landing between all of you, forming a large cave-in between your two groups. As this happens, you see the giant form loom to the top and then kind of leap down into this recessed area with a heavy thud, the ground cracking from underneath him. The woman above you sort of disappearing back. I'm going to need everyone to make initiative checks. And we're not using a battle map, so we're just roll and tell me what you roll.
Well, I
Got 21.
Yeah.
I got 14.
I got a natural 20, so I got a 20.
Nice.
I got a 4.
Okay. So natural 20 for Lil, 21 for Sadel, 4 for Den, and 14 for Star. For the Giant. Well, the Giant doesn't roll too well. All right. Okay. So that will put it with Sadel going first.
How far away am I from this giant?
You right now are like right up against the ledge. It leapt down, so you're probably about 20 feet away from it.
But I can't back up any further because of this ledge
No,
here.
you're about as far away as you can get from it right
Cool.
now.
All right. I'm going to shoot it.
Okay. Going to make
With-
your attacks.
A 16
16 will hit.
for 12 piercing and 8 thunder damage.
Ooh. So 20 points of damage. All right. Sadel, you sort of brace yourself against the back, looking at this creature, having avoided the shower of rubble. You pull out your thunder cannon, brace yourself against the wall, and fire a shot. As you do, the bullet, there's a crack of thunder. The bullet screams through the air and slams into the sort of blubbery side of this giant, who lets out a as blood begins to pour down his back. Heavy hit against him, and seems to have felt it.
I would like to request that we stop fighting indoors, because if I keep shooting this thunder cannon, everyone is going to go deaf.
Yeah, and all of your ears are ringing at the sound of it first. And it echoes around the cave. It kind of like, doosh, 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 doosh. And all of you sort of look up instinctually to make sure the cave isn't about to...
I was going after a few pebbles fall from the roof.
Some of the debris sort of shifts a bit, but not too bad right now. All right. Staying there?
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Okay.
Since we're so close.
And as Sadel begins to shimmer, Lil, you standing right next to him, what would you like to do?
Okay, you said he was 20 feet ahead of me? If I'm right near Sadel?
Yeah.
Okay, I am going to use my 20 feet of my movement and move up and hit him twice with my Warhammer two-handed.
Okay.
Okay, now I gotta get the right thing up. Here we go. First attack is a 22 to hit.
That'll hit.
So that's 12 points of damage, and I'm going to go ahead and hit him again, because I have 2 attacks now, and it's so exciting. Oh, second one's a natural 1.
Okay, yeah, that will unfortunately miss. The first one, though, you get a heavy strike against it. And how much damage did you say it was total?
It was 12 total.
12. Okay. That's not right. Hold on. I accidentally just gave it 12 hit points.
We're all okay with that. I mean,
I'm not gonna argue with that ruling.
No.
Giants have 12 hit points? What?
Yes!
No.
Guys, I one-shotted a hill giant! Yes!
As you rush up and slam into it as hard as you can with your warhammers, a heavy crack and a thud as you watch more of its kind of the bulbous leg that you just hit sort of ripple from the strike. It looks down with its kind of buck teeth sort of twisted to the side, glares down at you, just
okay, and then because I'm scared to death, I'm going to use Misty Step and go and stand next to Sadel again.
Okay. Misty Step right back towards the wall, Warhammer in front of you. The giant kind of looks around for a second, confused as to where you went, before looking over towards the wall and seeing the two of you standing there sort of cowering against the wall. All right, that would put it to Mother's turn. You all see as Sadel and Lil, you both look up, and the rest of you see as from on top of the ledge. You don't see her appear again, but you do see this kind of cloud of fog begin to form in the area and just sort of fill the top, obscuring anything beyond. That'll put it to Star's turn.
I can't really duck into Lil's shadow because she's smaller than me, so I'm gonna go next to Sadel and duck into whatever could be considered a shadow, and then just throw 2 daggers at the giant.
Okay.
I believe I'm close enough to get sneak attack on the first one, or the first one that hits rather.
Why would you get?
Oh no, never mind. Because I was thinking wrong because Sadel's next to me. He's not next to the giant, so I was getting mixed up with the rules. My bad.
Yeah. No, it's not a problem. I was making sure out there. Yeah, because the giant is currently not within melee of anybody.
Yeah.
So unless you hide or try to hide first, you're not going to be able to get some attack.
So first one is 24 to hit.
That'll hit.
And that one does 5 points of piercing damage.
All right.
And then I'll throw one from my other hand, which is 26 to hit.
That'll also hit.
That one is only 2 points of piercing damage, though.
Okay. 2 points of piercing damage as both daggers kind of fly through the air and sink into the belly of this creature. It looks down, pulls out both the dagger like they're splinters and just and throws them down to the ground. They clatter away. Doesn't seem too terribly perturbed by the dagger, so they did do damage to him.
Well, that's fair. They are probably not that much to him, so that's my turn.
Okay. Den.
Alright, so above us, Mom up there has just created some sort of cloud of fog. Right?
Are you about to argue that this
No. I'm just saying, okay. I'm assuming that I'm pretty familiar with what she's doing.
It's a fog cloud, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
About how high up would you say said cloud is?
Like 30 feet up.
Oh, good. Well, I would like to ruin that for her. Because I know what she's doing and I don't like it. So I'm going to go ahead and use... I'm gonna go ahead and use Aratok's spellcasting ability and cast Gust of Wind.
Okay.
Up through the fog cloud and in the general direction of where I last saw her.
Okay, so you, because the range on Gust of Wind is like 60
feet. Yeah, so I'm gonna go up through the fog and towards her.
So you sort of skirt around the side away from, or so the giant isn't like right between you, I assume. Mm-hmm. Or you're trying to catch the giant in it too.
No.
Okay. So you skirt around to the side, look up towards the fog cloud, holding up your hand and channeling the power of the ring that you wear on it. You send out a burst of wind that howls through this cavern. You see the cloud immediately just dispersed down the middle, leaving kind of two slight slivers to it that are beginning to disperse as well. And in the center, you see Mother Madron kind of get blasted back a bit, and she is going to make
a strength save.
So
from the ring, it's DC 13.
Okay. So there's no size requirement with that. No. Okay. She actually gets blown backwards. So she gets pushed back away, kind of a little bit out of sight, further away from the ledge.
Cool.
All right. Is that it for you? Keeping the spell up?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it focused up there. I don't want her being able to, like, hide.
Okay. The giant's turn. It looks around towards all of you and kind of and looks back towards the ledge, seeing its mother get kind of blasted backwards. Looks over towards you, Den, picks up a rock off the ground and goes and hurls it in your direction.
Does the rock have to make a saving throw because it goes through the wind?
The rock does not. Does it affect range attacks?
I don't know. It just says Each creature that starts its turn in the line. I just didn't know if maybe that would help at all.
Not so much. It's powerful. Not quite powerful to stop the momentum of this massive order.
Okay. I tried.
However, it rolls a. It's going to be. Are you at 18 still?
I am at 18. Yeah.
Okay. So it is going to hit you. So the rock slams into you, kind of pushing you backwards. You take 31 points of bludgeoning damage as it nearly just crushes you. You roll over to the side, pick yourself back up. You can feel just the bruise and the blood kind of whelming under the surface. You are going to be a black and blue Triton by the end of this.
Already blue.
Yeah.
I guess we're gonna make a concentration check.
Yeah.
Wow. 22?
I think that, you succeed on it. So even with the strike from the rock, you get blasted to the side. You keep your hand up and keep that spell pushing your adversary back away from the ledge. Well done.
Ow!
The giant, as this happens, it throws the rock and you see you kind of knock backwards, loses interest in you, looks back towards the ledge and kind of begins walking that way. Just as it calls back towards the ledge, trying to look up and see if it can see her. But that's all it's got. So Sadel, it is your turn.
Sorry, my computer wants to install an update.
Not now.
Not now. I'm trying to fight a giant scary monster. Anyway, so it's come back towards the ledge that I'm at, correct?
Yes.
Looking for its mom.
It's actually like right in front of you right now.
Cool. I'm gonna go around it and try and get further away.
Okay. You get the impression with its range, if you try to get further than like 10 feet away from it, it is going to get an attack opportunity on you.
Okay.
Unless you want to try use your action and disengage, but that's up to you. How far away is Den from myself and the giant? Den was about half distance, so she was probably about 20 feet away from it, so she's probably about 30 or 35 feet away from the giant right now.
Okay. I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit and run away, and I'm gonna run towards Den.
Okay.
Since I just saw her get pelted with that rock.
So you go rushing forward, skirting underneath the legs of the giant. The giant, as it looks down, kind of sees you and kind of like trying to swat a roach with a frying pan, swings down at you to try to smush you on the ground with its great club. However, misses. As it swings down towards the ground, you hear this and feel this loud right next to you as the club slams about 2 feet away from your current position. You see it and just continue running forward. You can get almost up toward Den as you're like 5 feet away from it right now.
Okay. Then since I can't quite get to Den yet, then I'm gonna turn around and shoot it.
Okay. Spinning around, taking your gun, firing another shot.
21
hits.
11 piercing and 8 thunder.
Nice. So 19 points of damage. And as that bullet hits it, it goes kind of staggering forward, bracing itself on the rocks there, looking back. Just sort of looks around, not quite sure what just hit it. And it's beginning to kind of moan in like childlike, painful way where you can tell he's starting to look pretty rough. That will end its turn, or that will end your turn. Lil, it is on you now as this giant is sort of looming over you.
Okay. So I just realized, and I need my whole party to help me remember, that when I do my two-handed Great Warhammer Great Weapon fighting, I don't have my halfling's luck built into that. So my 6 actually wasn't a 6. It's really a 13, but that's okay. 13 probably still did not hit, I'm betting.
Yeah. Well, remember that going forward.
Exactly. I just realized that. Anywho, okay, he's right in front of me, right? Because I was standing next to Sidel before he ran off. Okay. I need to get Den up. And Den's 30 feet away?
Like 35.
Okay, yeah.
And
Den,
she's up. She's just
looking battered.
Yeah.
I'm conscious.
Yeah, you see just kind of blood rushing down her face as she's still holding that wind spell, gust of wind spell, trying to keep Mother Matron at bay.
Okay, I can't get to you, Den. I'm really sorry. Even if I dashed, that would be my action, so I wouldn't be able to heal you. So I'm going to stay where I am, and I'm going to hit the big, meaty piece of ogre or giant in front of me.
Okay.
Okay, first one is a 23 to hit.
Hits.
And I'm going to go ahead and add a Divine Smite to that as well.
All right.
And that's at level 1 level. So that's, okay. So it's 6 points of damage and 6 points of bludgeoning and 7 points of radiant.
Okay. Solid hit with your first one. You slam into it, getting that pulse or that burst of radiant energy. Your second attack.
Okay. It's a 22 to hit.
Also hits.
And that'll be another 8 points of bludgeoning.
Okay. And then you come wheeling around for the second strike, slamming into it again. You see the giant bracing itself against the side. It's kind of thick, Cro-Magnon brow, like furrowed and looking down at you. Just, not looking too good.
That's my turn.
Okay. So I guess she's in the range, or she's in that spell. She has to make a saving throw at the start of her turn.
Yes.
Okay.
I will. Let me double check, but I'm pretty positive. Yes, each creature that starts its turn in the line must succeed on a strength saving throw.
Okay. This one she succeeds with a natural 20. So you see her form kind of reemerge. She's pushing herself forward against the wind, not able to move as fast, but pushing herself up to the edge. She looks down at the giant in front of her, and seeing his state kind of gives an angry howl as she, using her full movement, is able to push herself up to the edge of the ledge and then jump down, landing kind of straight right next to Lilibet. Now I think her movement is halved for the when she's moving against the wind.
Reading. Yes, 2 feet of movement for everyone. Yeah. So she's able to make it to the edge of it, and she is not able to do much else this turn. So she lands on the ground right next to Lil. And Lil, you see this hideous form sort of drop to the ground right next to you. Star, it is your turn.
So, Mr. Giant definitely not looking too good right now.
No.
Okay, then. What I would like to do then is walk up next to Mother Dearest, and since Lil is actually within her melee range, I'm gonna sneak attack the bitch in the wherever I can reach.
Okay. So go ahead and
I'll do this with my short sword as well.
Okay, so you rush over, drawing your short swords. So you rush around beside her, going to make your strike. So go ahead and do those.
First one is 16 to hit.
That does not hit.
Damn you. Okay, that one. 9 to hit.
9 also does not hit. So you rush up, go to slash her. The first one hits her skin, and what you expected it to be sort of fleshy like the hill giant is as hard as rock. It sort of scrapes around the side of her skin. As you bring up your second blade to strike up, just trying to pierce towards her, she reaches up one of her massive clawed hands and slaps your hand to the side with more agility than you would have expected from her.
Fair enough. That's all of my turn.
Okay, Den is on to you as you're sort of spinning and reeling.
Ow! That really hurt me. Okay. I have a question, really quick.
Okay.
This cave doesn't happen to be 100 feet tall and like 120 feet wide.
It's not
It's
quite 100
smaller
feet
than
tall.
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe like 40 feet tall.
One of these days we'll have a fight outside.
One of these days.
That's what I'm
And I'll
saying.
be able to use spells. Okay. In that case, I will. So she jumped down right next to Lil, who's right next to the giant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I would like to use my bonus action then because I use my bonus action to change the direction of my wind gust, and I want to turn it on the two of them because it's 10 feet wide. Can I get the giant and mother in it?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to do that. So I don't think anything happens until their turn.
Yeah.
Yes, but so I'll use my bonus action to do that. Just keep that going.
Okay.
And then... Yeah, okay. I would like to use my action to Guiding Bolt Mom.
Okay.
I guess I get up off the ground. If I can.
You weren't on the ground. That was just sort of like you.
Oh, okay.
That was for flavor. You picked yourself back up.
I will stand up if I have to.
Yeah.
And then I would like to Guiding Bolt Mother. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm real mad at her. 24?
24 will hit.
Alright. Doing my damage. Oh, it's doing the drop down. That's why. That would be 18 radiant damage, and
Nice.
the next attack against her has advantage because she glows.
Nice. So this bolt of radiant energy comes careening out of the darkness, slamming into the side of her, and you see this pulsing glow form as Mother Madron is sort of has some of the branches and skulls and bones adorning her blasted off and scattered against the walls. She continues to look around with that like permanent grin on her face, kind of. And
Yeah, I growl back at her.
You staying where you are though?
Yep.
Okay. It's now the giant's turn. The giant will make the saving throw at the start of his turn. Actually doesn't succeed, so sort of pinned against the wall as he's held there. Lil and Star both down at the ground near him. Realize he's not really going to be able to move, so is going to make one attack at each of you with his great clubs. It brings up slamming down on top of both of you. So Lil first. That is going to be a your AC is not higher than a 22, is it right now? No. So that's going to be 20 points of bludgeoning damage against you. And then against Star, that is also going to hit you for 19 points of bludgeoning damage.
Uncanny dodge.
Okay, uncanny dodge. You are able to move out of the way just enough as it slams into the side of you. You roll and absorb enough of the impact that you take 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
All right. And that will end the giant's turn. Sado.
I am going to cast Cure Wounds on Den.
Okay. So you finally rush up, get within range of Den, slap a hand down on her. I just need to roll the...
Yeah.
You have to set the spell to not spell card, but the other one.
That's okay. You regain 4 hit points.
Better than nothing.
Yep. And that is my turn.
All right.
Thank you.
Pretty sure that like doubled your hit points at this point. But you reach over, you slap a hand on her, healing a bit of Den's wounds. Den, you feel slightly less broken than you did a few seconds ago. All right. And that'll put it to Lil's turn.
Okay. So I'm gonna do something a little different. Because why not? I think... Hold on, I'm double checking. Because now I've forgotten things. Okay, yes. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cast Moonbeam on top of Mother. Because she should be far enough away from me that it won't hit me or Star.
Okay.
Is that spatially right?
What's the radius on Moonbeam?
It's a 5-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder.
Okay, so it's only like 10 feet wide.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, does it hit the giant at all and still miss us?
No, because she is large. She is basically the full 10 feet there.
Oh, okay, cool. I forget she's that big.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, the column comes down and it's pretty much straight on top of her.
Okay, so yes, I'm gonna go ahead and cast Moonbeam on top of her at Smith. Okay, so when she starts her turn or moves into the space, she'll take 10 radiant damage or 12 radiant damage.
Okay, now she's just moved into the space, so she makes the saving throw now, or what?
It says. Sorry, of course I closed it because that's what I do. When a creature enters the spell area for the first time, or starts its turn, or for the first time on a turn, or starts its turn there, it's engulfed in ghostly flames.
So it takes the damage now, and then makes another save at the start of her turn.
Yeah, but they need to do a con saving throw.
Yeah.
Just so you know. Yeah.
So she actually fails the saving throw as it crashes down on top of her. So she takes the full 12 points of damage. She is now sort of illuminated there by not only the guiding bolt, but also the moonlight.
Okay, and then because that was my action, and since I didn't, well, okay. Here's my weird thing about extra attack only works with melee attacks, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's my turn.
Okay. It is now her turn. And she is going to kind of lets out a shriek as the light emanates around her. And she is... she's going to look towards you, Star, and reach out with both of her arms and try to grab you and kind of pull you into a big old hug. And she does it with a smile. She sort of says, "Come here, kitty." That's going to hit with a 21. And that is going to be... Make sure. All right. That is going to be 36 points of bludgeoning damage.
I need to do math in my head.
Well,
yeah, no matter what I do, I'm unconscious.
Yeah.
So Sean, just so you know, since she started her turn, she gets another hit from the moonbeam since she started the turn in the moonbeam.
Oh yeah, that's right. She takes the saving throw. Man, make that saving throw, save her life. So roll another 2d10.
12 points.
Oh, nice. Okay, so she takes another 12 points of damage. Doesn't seem to phase her too much. She's starting to look pretty rough. She grabs onto Star, and sort of you hear his bones sort of pop and crack as she just embraces him hard in this hug. You can see his kitty cat body sort of getting bent in odd shapes.
Is this when they also make the gust of wind saving throw?
Yes.
Spells are happening.
I know. You guys gotta. She fails it, so she'll also kind of get slammed against the side as she's holding on.
Sorry,
to
Star.
Just continuing to hold him there. Star, it is your turn. I need you to make a death save.
Yay! I just accidentally closed my character sheet because I'm that smart.
You just roll a d20 since it's the same thing.
Don't give up now!
17!
That's a success. All right.
Way!
Den, it is your turn now.
Okay. Can I get to Star?
What's your movement speed?
30.
With 30 feet of movement, because he was a little bit closer, I'd say you just get to him.
Okay, I am going to use my action to, well, I'm gonna run that way, and I will I'll grab whatever of Star or Spur that I can grab, and I will cast Cure Wounds.
Okay.
I'll use my last 3rd level spell slot.
So as she's gripping onto him, you go rushing up, you grab on to Star's tail, and send the course of healing energy through him. Star, you can feel yourself kind of pulled back from the brink there as this healing surge pulses through you. You regain 12 hit points.
12.
Ow, why do my bones hurt?
But you look up from unconsciousness, and you can see this grotesque face still staring down at you as she still has you in her arms and is still kind of pulling you in to crush you.
Not good.
Yeah, you're currently
not good.
You are currently grappled by her. So
I have a question that I'm really gonna hate the answer to.
what?
Technically, Star's in my moonbeam. Does it affect him?
He's not, well, like I said, she takes up the entirety of it. It's sort of a weird thing between like grids and other stuff. Does it injure allied creatures?
It just says a creature who enters the space.
Okay.
Or starts its...
He technically would have taken the damage before he went unconscious or when he was unconscious. So it wouldn't make a difference at this point. So we'll just call it a wash right now. But Star, if you start your turn there again, you will take more damage. All right. Dennis, at the end of your turn.
Where is the giant right now?
Basically right next to you.
Great. I use my bonus action to turn the gust of wind on that guy. So I want him right next to me.
Okay. You bonus action send the gust of wind around towards the giant who's kind of right next to you, sort of parallel. If you're right here, he's right here. So you're now kind of turning the wind on him, blowing like parallel to the wall.
Yeah.
As he starts his turn now.
So he makes a strength saving throw.
Yep. He makes the saving throw. Kind of as the wind kind of washes around him, stands there, just he is going to make his attacks at Den and Lil, because you two are the ones that are closest and not currently being hugged. So against Den, that's a 12, so that will miss you. Against Lil, that is a 21, which I think hits you. So you take 20 points of bludgeoning damage from this one, as the once again the hammer comes slamming down on top of you, kind of crushing you a bit more into the ground. You can feel your chainmail kind of creaking and groaning to absorb any of that impact. Sadel, it is your turn.
Our only exit's blocked, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot the giant.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Nice. Go and roll damage on that.
Oh my. That is 25 piercing and 13 thunder damage.
Wow. Only had 26 hit points left, so that is enough to take out this giant as it slams down left and right at Lil and Den. The giant turns back its head in your direction, and you line up your shot straight at that just ugly face of it. Fire off an explosion of thunder. It connects with the side of the giant's brow and just blows off the front of his head, sort of splattering brain matter against the far wall. What little of it there was. The giant
Headshot.
Wait a second. I've got it for this.
Oh, thank
Hold
goodness.
Headshot.
All right. And we're back. So
Sean is officially the greatest DM of all time.
The giant takes a step, its eye kind of lolling to one side, and falls to the ground. As this happens, the dust begins to clear, and Mother, as she currently holds on the star, you feel her grip tighten as she looks over towards Sadel and towards the rest of you and says, "Not again." He seems very angry by all this.
Guys, my organs are starting to hurt.
Lilith, it's your turn.
Okay, because I don't want to kill my friend, I'm going to shift the moonbeam 5 feet behind Mother so that it doesn't hit doesn't hit Star, but still hits her. That's what I'm doing.
Okay, so you just kind of shift it back a bit to try to keep him out of it. All right.
Yeah, that's my whole turn. Sorry, guys. I know I should heal myself, but I don't want to kill Star.
All right. That'll put it to Mother's turn, and she is going to keep you right where you are, Star.
Since she started it, if she doesn't fail her con save, she takes 16 points of...
Okay. She finally succeeds on this one. She has a pretty decent constitution, so I don't know why she's been failing all these, but it just felt like it. And she is going to...
She'll take 8 hit points,
Yeah.
just so you know.
She takes 8 points of damage. The moonbeam, or as the moonbeam kind of sears into her, she looks down at you, Star, and kind of crushes you a bit more. You take... You take 40 points of bludgeoning damage.
I'm unconscious again.
And she kind of looks down, feeling the broken body of Star. And she's going to take a step back into the moonbeam, drop him in the moonbeam and then step out of it and begin and work her way around you, Lil. With that grin on her face still.
So I entered the moonbeam on her turn, so I take the damage now.
Yeah, so you take the damage, so you fail a saving throw.
It's an auto death save. Fail.
And then,
on the start of my turn, I take more damage, so...
you fail another death saving throw, so you've now failed 2.
Oh, God.
And that will end Star's turn. Oh, you have to also make a death saving throw on your turn, too.
10.
You just barely succeed on that. Oh, that would have been bad. All right, that ends Star's turn. Den, it is on you as Star is there in the moonbeam. What would you like to do?
Throw up. Oh my god. I... What? Can I go get him?
You have to enter the moonbeam to do
Fine.
that.
Alright, I go into the moonbeam.
Okay.
I grab him and drag him out.
All right, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Nine.
All right, and I need Lilibet to roll 2d10 damage.
Four.
Gonna cry if that
I'm
was
up.
above your current hit points.
That's how much Sadell just healed me.
As the moonbeam sears at you and you watch it searing at Star, you grab onto him and drag him the rest of your movement, which is going to be just enough because your movement speed is halved to get him outside the radius of the moonbeam.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do I still
Just
have?
right at the edge of it. You still have your, I'll say that takes your movement. You still have your action and your bonus action, but you can't move anymore on this turn.
Okay, I cast Cure Wounds on him at 2nd level because I'm out of 3rd level slots.
You want to roll your healing on that one?
Wow, how much was I last time? 16.
Okay, 16 points of healing. And Star, you come back from unconsciousness again.
You have more hit points than me now.
Yeah.
I
Currently
was
prone on
holding
the
him.
ground. And you smell burning hair. You aren't sure why.
Buddy?
It feels like it feels like my heart got a bear hug.
It would be the giant's turn. The giant is dead. Sadell is on to you now.
Can I get a good shot on Mother from where I am?
Yeah, you've got a pretty good angle on her.
Cool. Then I'm gonna also shoot her.
Okay. Go to make a shot. Is this the first attack roll on her since she got hit by the Okay, you have advantage on this.
A 22.
22 hits.
13 piercing and 6 thunder.
All right, so that's 19 points of damage. Oh, wait.
No, wait. When he hit with the natural 20, that was the first time he hit.
No, I hit that with the giant.
That was
the
yeah.
giant.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, never mind.
She hadn't actually been struck by anything since then. All right, you fire off the shot. The bullet hits her, seems to ricochet a bit, not doing as much damage as you expected, but there is that kind of blast of thunder that resonates and definitely irks at her a bit. She is looking rough. So Sadell, is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Star and everybody's like right next to her, aren't they?
Star and Den are not right next to her. They're about like 15 feet away from her right now. Lil is right next to her, and you're about 30 feet away from her.
Okay. I've got one more spell slot. But I think I'm going to stay where I am for right now.
Okay. Lil, it is your turn.
She's what? 5 feet away from me? 10 feet away from me?
Yeah, she's in melee with you.
Ooh. Well, her reach is, but I don't know if mine is. Because I have 4 hit points, I'm going to use my action again to move the moonbeam right on top of her, since Star's out of the way.
All right.
That's what I'm going to do.
Okay, moonbeam drags across the ground, parks itself right over her. She makes the save. Go ahead and roll your...
Oops. 2d10. Oops. D10. That's 13, so halved is what? 6 points of radiant?
Yes, 6. All right. It sears down on her. You can see her hunch form sort of hunching over more as she looks down and just continuing to kind of snarl. You see saliva dripping out of her mouth. She's just feral right now. All right. That'll put it to her turn. She has to make another saving throw. She makes a save.
5 points of radiant damage.
5 points of radiant damage. She's still up. Just barely. And she's not gonna
die.
She's not too happy with you right now, so she's gonna make the first of her 3 attacks against you.
Bye, guys. Bye. Love you, bye.
Which is a 27. So it's going to hit you for 16 points of piercing damage as she slashes down at you. Lil kind of gets thrown and smacks against the side of the cavern, falling back. She is then going to turn her attention towards Sadel, who is the one that killed her son. She has this rage as she looks at you, her one good eye just burning into you from the darkness, and she goes rushing in your direction, using her full 40 feet of movement to skid right on top of you and then just take 1 slash with her claw against you first, which is only a 13 hit, so I think that misses you.
That misses.
And then she opens up her mouth wide, just and goes to bite at you, which hits. Definitively for 13 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
She's now kind of bites down on you. You feel the searing pain in your shoulders. You rip away from her. And she has her intentions fixed upon you. Star, it is your turn, lying on the ground. Once again, coming back from consciousness.
So from where she is right now, is she definitely, if I had a way to instantly move 30 feet, that sort of max distance, or is there a way I can easily get to be that distance?
Yeah, you could get that distance. However, I do need you to make a Constitution saving throw first, because we didn't get to do it last time, but you have gone unconscious
twice. I was wondering if you'd want to wait till after combat, but yeah, this makes sense.
No, because I changed that to do.
So it's okay.
And do you still have an injury level?
I still have the scar on my chin that never got fixed. So.
And you haven't spent 2 days just resting. So we'll.
Nat 1.
Ooh. Okay. That will make it. I always roll this, and now I have to go to the madness table. All right. So Star, as you come back from consciousness, okay, could be worse. Your head just ringing and the pain racking you. You feel this intense sense of fear while you begin to look towards the shadows of the cavern, just like the sounds of battle, seeing your friends going unconscious. There's just something snaps, and you find yourself just overwhelmingly paranoid and worried about something else being in this cavern. You have disadvantage on wisdom and charisma checks for the foreseeable future.
Great. It doesn't change my plan though, because I think this is the most sensible option. I want to use my cloak to Mitty step right behind her the full 30 feet and stabby stab.
But you're getting up first, I assume. So
yeah.
So you stand up, you pull at the edge of your cloak, and there's this whoosh noise as suddenly disappears into a cloud of mist right in front of you, Den, as you're kind of currently trying to tend to him. You appear behind her. Star, go ahead and make your attacks.
Sneak stab. 26.
26 is a hit. And you can roll damage. However, it doesn't matter. How would you like to do this? So you have one hit left.
I actually want to appear in midair right behind her, just hook my hand round as I stab and get her right in that good eye.
Okay.
And just with the weight of myself and the dagger just pulling her down to the ground.
Sadel, as you see her standing before you, kind of tearing into you with these large claws and then biting onto your shoulder, kind of ripping a chunk of flesh away with it. You looking up, seeing the terror of this creature before you and wondering if this is where it ends. Suddenly in the darkness, in a cloud of mist and smoke, you see Star appear, dagger in hand, swinging around and stabbing the dagger right into her left eye. She lets out a scream of pain as he rolls forward, pulling her body down, and with a crashing noise and the breaking of branches, her body slams into the ground. She kind of gasps for a second, just pulling at the blade, pushing herself back as her wounds she begins to succumb to them, and she lets out in a horrible sort of guttural voice, hissing out at all of you in her death throes. My daughters will find you. And with that, Star, you drive the dagger down a little bit deeper. And as the dagger sinks in and the life begins to leave her body, you hear a faint melody resonating from the choking on blood, that same song that you heard the Oni humming comes out a few bars at a time until the life finally leaves her body. I know I explained this in a previous episode. We ended up changing some things to sort of simplify it and streamline it, also make it a little bit probably worse for the players. The saving throw, basically what I do is, as sort of a lingering injury thing for people that are going unconscious, is that when you go unconscious during a fight, you have to make a Constitution saving throw when it happens. And I roll a die on a table that I've created, and you take that corresponding injury. So what happened here is that Star went conscious twice during the fight, as it was pointed out to me. And because of this, he has to make a second Constitution saving throw at disadvantage because he's already been unconscious once. So, and the DC for the check is half your level plus 10, rounded up. So it's a 13.
7. Just 7, no matter what. 7.
Okay. I gotta close this door a bit. So we'll get to that in a second. As the battle sort of comes to a close, the hag is lying dead on the stone. You see Lil is currently unconscious in the corner. Den, are you reacting to this?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm running.
Yeah. So you can go ahead and heal. Casting a...
I'll do a second level cure wounds, yeah.
Okay. I also need... Lil, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. And is this your first or second? Second. Okay.
The Oni got me the first time.
That's right. So you're going to have to make a...
You heal 10.
Thanks, Dad!
You're welcome.
All right, so rolling
That's
some memories here.
That's a 6.
Yeah, that's a fail. So, okay. So, Lil, you come back to consciousness as the healing energies wash over you. Gotta pull up something else.
Haven't you done enough, Sean?
You, however, so I'm comparing these. As you wake, and then you look down at her, and you sort of kind of wince as you see it. You see that from where she impacted the side of the wall, she has this horrible sort of gash that's running down the side of her face. And as you heal it, you realize that that it's bad enough that the healing isn't going to be enough to remedy it. The wound begins to close, but there's this thick scar that runs just down the side of her face here, branching off in a couple of areas from the impact.
Hey, Lil.
Hi. Everybody okay?
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Never mind.
Okay. You okay? Do you need healing?
No, I'm right. It's.
What? What's wrong?
Nothing. It left kind of a mark when you hit your face on the wall.
Do I feel it?
You do. You feel this kind of fissure, sort of, this bad gash here. It doesn't hurt anymore. It's a little sore, but you feel it running down the side of your face there.
It's alright. I mean, I fixed it, but I think that one's gonna stay.
Oh. Wow. I got hit hard.
I hope you're not. I mean, it looks kind of cool.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
It's kind of badass.
Okay. Well, I'm okay. I'm feeling okay. All my parts are here.
Yeah.
Everybody else? Okay.
Yeah, we're alright.
Okay.
Star took kind of a beating, but...
Yeah, that's partly my fault. I'm really sorry, Star.
You're muted.
Am I okay? What?
So, Star, as you pull yourself back from the hag, looking down at her, adrenaline begins to leave you. You feel a wince as you look down, and you see that your offhand has been crushed. Like, beyond recognition crushed, is like tendons, and just, you aren't sure when it happened, and the pain still hasn't hit you. But it's bad.
Good guys, I might not be as handy now.
Can I cure wounds him?
Looking at it, it's going to take a little more than a cure wounds.
Because I don't know anything better, Lil runs over and just takes, like, on his shoulder, on the hurt arm, and just casts all 25 points of lay on hands into it and go, "It's okay, buddy, it's okay!"
You regain the 25 hit points as the energy kind of surges through you.
I'm back at full health.
The hand heals a bit, but you're finding that it won't move.
We'll figure something out, but perhaps we should just find out if there's anything else in this cave. And find a way out and to find Barb and Lucius and perhaps find anything else. I don't know.
And I'll say, and sort of to describe the situation right now is, I mean, your hand, like you're missing some fingers. You can't hold anything in it. So right now, can't do anything that really requires two hands. You can't hold any weapons in it too. For the sake, you basically have lost that hand. Lil, your scar is to the extent that you currently have disadvantage on persuasion checks and advantage on intimidation checks, but it's going to take something very significant to heal that.
We'll fix it. I know people that can fix it.
I don't care about me. I mean, whatever. I don't need to persuade people. I'm already short. It's already a disadvantage. But we gotta fix Star.
We can fix it. I know people that can fix it.
Okay.
It's fine for now. Let's just keep pushing on, and I just go to start climbing up to the ledge.
Wait a minute. Hold on. 1 second, team. Group meeting. Star, do you think there's actually anything in this cave that we need to find?
A way out?
I don't think going farther in is gonna help. I think we should just dig our way out and just fuck off, because...
If you think we could move all those rocks, we'd have to try and find where Barb and Lucius are as well.
Can I go over towards the rubble and start, like, calling for them? I don't think there's actually anything here.
I don't want to be in this cave anymore, Star. I don't want to go further in.
Den, make a perception check.
Oh, God.
Actually, everyone can make perception checks if they want.
I'm at disadvantage, aren't I?
Currently, yes.
Yay!
And I said this off camera too, but the effect is going to last for 70 hours, so like 3 days, 4 days. Somewhere around there.
While they're searching through the rubble and trying to call out, I'm going to use my rope to climb up and see if I can get a better vantage point.
Okay. So you climb up you begin making your way up using your rope. It kind of ties around a rougher portion of the ledge up there and begins to raise you up. Den, as you go by the rubble and begin to try and move some of it aside, you begin to hear on the other side kind of a shifty noise, like a... It sounds like somebody is pulling the rubble from the other side.
Barb! Is that you?
You guys alright?
We're alive.
I hope so.
Yeah,
We're coming in. We're gonna get you.
I'll start coming out.
So you begin to...
I'll go help her.
Yeah. Star, what are you doing right now?
Star just doesn't want to sit about and wait. He's actually going to go further in the cave.
Okay.
Just while they're digging, he's just going to climb up and just go.
Before I start digging, can I cure wounds myself? Because I just realized I still only have 9 hit points.
Good call. I need to do the same.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that.
I'm just gonna cure wounds myself.
So you guys are beginning to pull.
All of a sudden, I really feel terrible.
All right.
Alright. Wow, I rolled 10 for me. Anybody else?
I rolled 11 for me. That puts me at 21, so I'm half health right now, so I'm okay.
Sadell, you okay up there?
Yeah, I've got it covered.
Alright. Now we start digging.
Okay.
So if rocks fall, maybe we won't die.
And Star, you say you're going with Seto?
I'm just going further into the tunnel. I'm not just sort of staying at the top of the ledge. I'm just going in.
Okay, so as you guys make it to the top of the ledge at roughly the same time, you actually see that there's not much more to this cavern. It descends back and tapers off. What you do see towards the back, kind of towards the right side, is there is a hollowed out portion, it looks like. I'm hearing an echo of myself now. Is everybody else hearing that?
I was hearing it of myself when I was talking, but...
Yeah. I think it stopped. I'm not hearing it anymore. Okay. I think
You
we're good.
acknowledged it, so it went away.
Yeah.
Ghost echoes.
You see that there is a hollowed out portion. It looks like a secondary sort of cavern off to the side. It doesn't look natural. It looks like something has carved its way that direction. And you see a faint light flickering from down there. You also hear, sounds like crying.
Star's just not thinking right now. Dagger out at the ready, he's going in.
Okay.
Do I see him doing this?
Not sneaking, so...
Yeah, so you do.
Okay, I'm...
Star, where are you going?
Through here, and I just keep going.
No, I take my rifle out and I follow him.
Okay. You both come around the corner, and the first thing that hits you is the smell. It is foul with like a sick sweetness to the air. It smells like a mixture between decaying flesh and pot roast. It's gross. And you quickly identify the source of the smell. There is like a cauldron in the corner. There are bones strewn around, and you sort of put two and two together, especially as you see the size of the bones, about child-sized. As you come in, though, and you see there is like a cot towards the side there, and it's a rather spacious room. There's a cot towards the side. There are kind of like scrawlings on the walls, just insane, like pictures of trees and animals and things like that. You see towards the center of the room, there is a table, and sitting on the table are 3 iron tokens, exactly identical to the one that you guys are carrying, just sort of neatly placed there with a candle in the center. However, you ignore most of that as you see on the far side of the room, there are about 15 or 20 cages made out of twigs and branches and things brought from the forest, and currently most of the cages are empty. There are 3 cages that have children in them. One looks to be a half-elf boy, and then there's 2 human girls. One with the boy has red hair, looks unkempt and looks like it hasn't been cut in a while. One of the girls has the short curly brown hair, and the other has sort of a golden but dirty blonde hair. They look and see as you enter, and though the boy and one of the girls kind of shrink away in the cage, looking distrusting, one of the girls kind of more bravely comes up towards the edge and says, "Get us out of here."
Star sort of coming in, like upon talking, he actually just kind of freezes in place, dagger at the ready.
Okay.
Like I'll say, like he came into enough of the room to see everything, so he is out of the doorway. That makes sense currently. So
they're like in cages.
Mm-hmm.
Are there locks?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm gonna use my thieves' tools and unlock them.
Okay.
See if I can get them out.
Yeah. Just
Wait. Are these actually kids?
make an investigation check.
Am I allowed to make one as well?
Yes.
14.
14?
We've been tricked by a fake child before.
You have.
Damn, I accidentally rolled disadvantage, but that doesn't matter because of how the things go, so it's a natural 1 for a total of 6.
Okay. Looking them over pretty closely, both of you, it doesn't appear to be. You don't see any illusions. You don't get the impression that these are children. You also, I'll tell you this, Seto, they're in small cages. So if it was an illusion of any sort, they would be that, the cage would be that size. If their shape changed in any way, it's hard to tell.
Okay. Then, yeah, I'll use my thieves' tools and try and get them out.
Upon realizing it's safe, Star will go and do the same.
Okay. I'm going to give you disadvantage on your check.
Yeah, I figured that would be the case.
You can try. You can still work it with one hand, but it's a little more.
Other way I was seeing it, he'd sort of prop the lock up with his other hand right now, and then sort of try and do it. So
Okay.
that's how I'm picturing it happening in my head.
So I rolled a 12.
I got a 10.
Okay. It's actually both those succeed. They're not very difficult locks to pick. Mostly just to keep the kids in. You don't imagine any of them know how to pick locks. I just need one more for the.
I'll dive at that one because lock picking, hey. Bloody hell! With disadvantage, 22.
Nice. That one. You're starting to get the hang of it. Actually, the one-handed lock picking, and you can open that one fairly easily. You get all three of them open. The kids quickly, 2 of the kids quickly rush out. One of the girls kind of stays in, still looking around. She says, "It might be a trick. Don't do it. Come back." Looking at the other kids, the boy and the girl they come out. They scoot away from you, but they stay out of their cages. The brown-haired girl looks over to the other one. She says, "I think it's okay, Penny. You should be fine."
It's not a trick. We have 2 more friends out trying to. I don't know if you heard the cave collapse. They're trying to clear the boulders. My name is Sadell, and I get down to their level. See, did that giant and the hag trap you in here?
The girl says, "Yeah, they took us, I don't know how long ago. They were just out playing outside the fort, and then everything went dark."
Well, we took care of them, and they're not going to hurt you anymore. But we'll get you to safety, okay?
Okay. I want to go home.
We'll get you home. I promise.
Is there still a fire going under the cauldron?
Yes, and that is the source of the light in this room.
I'm just gonna say, Saddle, get them to the other room. I'll sort this one out. Make sure it's clear.
Yeah.
Okay, and I lead the children into the previous room.
And
as they leave, the first thing I do is grab whatever's spare bit of what's ever being used for kindling, or if there's a poker, grab that and just sort of scatter the fire.
Okay. You begin to set everything on the room on fire as Sadel escorts the children out. Some smoke begins to build up towards the top of the cavern. Imagine it might be a bit of a problem if the cavern was any smaller.
I meant like scatter it so it goes out so it can't keep burning.
Out. Oh, gotcha. So you scatter the flames so that so that the fire goes out. Okay. So you begin to make it out. The human boy and girl are a little bit thrown off by how dark it is in here now. But you escort them kind of towards the edge. You see that the boy is kind of clutching something in his hands. And he looks to have like a small like necklace or something that he's really tightly holding on to as he remains close to the other children.
And after they're gone, I want to just do a quick sweep around the room. Like, while I know I've got time, just dig through everything.
Okay. You kind of skirt around the room looking for anything significant that might be in there.
Significant, valuable, anything that just sticks out.
Okay, go to make an investigation check for me.
If I'm right, that one's not at disadvantage.
No, I think it was wisdom.
It was wisdom and charisma, I think you said?
Yes.
9.
Okay, you skirt around the room. You see those tokens in the center of the room. You don't imagine they're valuable, but they are similar to the one you picked up before. Otherwise, there's not really much that you find in this room. It's pretty much just carnage.
Okay, first thing I'm going to do is go up to the table, take the bandana off my arm, and just use that to sort of bundle and tie up the hand a bit.
Okay.
After that, with the spare hand, just grab all the tokens in the bag, then go back to everyone else.
Okay. You pick up all the tokens, and as you pick up the last one, there's this weird moment where you get this sort of like feedback, where, you know, like when you're like with a microphone, where you have the receiver and the speaker on the same.
Hold the walkie-talkies together.
Yeah. You get that together as you start to put that one in with the other coins, where you have your current coin. It's like you're hearing something coming from the coin that you have in your bag, or that you had in your pocket, and it's just this like feedback loop that stops after a second.
Okay. But yeah, after doing all that, it's just straight back to the others and to actually I was also going to take one of the locks off the cages and just play about sort of picking the lock while they're moving the rubble.
So practicing with one hand.
Practicing, it's more just he likes picking locks. Yeah. So, to cut a long story short, he's just doing anything he can to not have to think about things too much.
Okay. So you guys make it back over to the ledge, and you, the two of you, as you're clearing out the rubble, and you see a bit of daylight begin to break as you kind of meet in the middle with Barb, who looks sort of frantic and worried, pulling away the rubble. And you've cleared out enough of a passageway you can get through. You turn back towards the ledge, and you can see Star and Sado coming down, helping 3 children down with them.
I run over to try and help the kids.
Yeah, we'll try to help them
tiny.
down.
Okay. They're a little kind of frightened of you as you approach, and kind of huddle back behind Sadel. But as you come up, you can sort of tend to them. They look, they're dirty. They seem well fed, though.
Keep your meat fat.
Almost overly so, yeah.
They don't look injured or anything.
No, they actually look in pretty good health, like someone's been tending to them. Except again, they're just a little dirty. Their hair is a bit long. Their nails aren't kempt.
As we're helping them down, I try subtly, it is not Den's strong suit, but subtly to cast detect magic.
Okay. You cast Detect Magic. You don't sense any magic coming from them.
Oh, good. Okay.
So, even though I'm well, I don't know this technically. As the kids are coming down and are fearful of us, Will comes up and
I know this is really scary, and I know, but see, the bad guys are gone. We took care of them. We're gonna get you home.
I scared the crap out of them, I'm assuming, because of my face.
They sort of shrink back away from your face, which it's not only the scar, it's also the fact that your face hasn't been cleaned, and so you're like half caked with blood on that side. And so they give off a little bit of a yip as they back away from you in a little bit of fear.
We're gonna get you home, guys. I promise. I know this is all bad.
The girl's been doing the talking and says, "Okay."
Where are you all from?
Fort Harrington.
You're from the fort?
Yeah.
Who are your parents?
Nobody important.
Just people that live there?
She says, well, name is, his parents are Farglasses, Walker, and she points to the girl with the blonde hair and says, and Dernst.
Do we recognize any of them?
You recognize the names as names you were given of missing children. There were 4 missing children that were reported in Fort Harrington.
That's what I thought.
Jacob, Yuri, Sarah, and Penny.
And we have 3 of them?
Mm-hmm.
Are there any more of you?
Sarah kind of looks down at her feet a bit. She looks over to Yuri, who's sort of like clutching at this necklace, and she says, "There were a lot more."
All right. Well, we're from the fort, from Fort Harrington. The Commandant sent us. Do you know him?
No.
Or Captain Reyes? Do you know her?
No, I know her.
Yeah, they sent us out here to look for you.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're gonna take us home?
Yeah, so we're gonna take you back.
Okay.
Right. Some very important people from the fort are coming out here. And they're gonna help us take you home.
Okay.
Yeah. So you stick with us. Don't worry about it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Alright, come on. Let's try to get through this wall. We've got a friend on the other side named Barb who is very strong. She's stronger than me.
Okay.
She's gonna help us get through.
Alright. So you help the children through. Barb sort of lifting them and picking them to the other side. Eventually all of you climb your way through. Barb and Lucius kind of give an audible like as they see Lil and Star coming out, and all of you kind of looking rough. Lucius kind of saying, "Is everyone all right?"
We're fine.
All right. Should we go back?
Yeah, I need a bed.
We'll worry about the kids first. We'll fix us later.
All right. Let's go then. So those of you that are in better condition, kind of leading the rest, making your way through the jungles back to 1,000 steps. It takes a little bit longer to get back there, about like 1.5 to 2 hours with the kids and the injuries. but you make it there before the sun sets, entering the city, and the kids are both frightened and seem to be, amazed by the large city that they are now walking into, something that they haven't seen in a long time, at least. And they kind of huddle close to you, but they are sort of looking around in amazement and wonder as they enter this city of cat people.
Forever trying to cheer everyone up. I'm just trying to talk to them, and also trying to talk to Star. Like, these are our friend Star's people. He knows a lot about the city. I bet there's lots of stories he could tell you as we go through. Right, Star? Lots of good stuff here. Fun stuff.
This is the oldest tabaxi city. We took it from the Grung a long time ago. It's the ziggurats at the center is used to worship Lelavoth, and
Alright, yeah,
he's jointed rambling until someone stops him.
Very tired, and I stop him almost immediately, realizing how it feels to have your arm screwed up like that. Yes, have you heard about the fairies? I say to the children, pretending like that didn't happen.
Well, when she says fairies, you actually hear a little snarl come from Star.
Kind of back away from the snarling cat.
He gets cranky when he's tired. It's alright. Have you heard about the fairies?
The girl who knows is Penny. Says, fairies?
Yeah. I start making shit up about fairies.
Okay. Make a deception check.
Can I interrupt her too? Because of the whole story about the fairies and the lights and chasing the lights is what brought a lot of kids here. Can I stop her and be like,
Barb, you know good songs. Play something happy.
I say nice things about fairies.
We'll make your deception check.
Not that they're kidnapping children. 19!
Nice. So Barb does begin to play some music, which livens the mood a bit, and Den steers away from child abducting fairies and sticks more to happy fairies, like fairies that give toys and gifts and things like that.
Glitter and rainbows.
Yeah, and unicorns and the
fairies riding unicorns.
Yeah, the energy sort of lifts a bit, yeah, and the kids seem enraptured by the story and the music and the city, and for a little bit it seems as though they sort of forget the circumstance that they found themselves in. You guys all make your way back to, I think, the room that you were
There's a very large fairy in a red suit and hat. It brings presents to children on holidays.
Really?
Yeah, if you're really good. I tell them the story of Santa Claus.
Okay. And the kids seem enthralled by this tale of a gift-giving burglar that gives out presents to children, and they are just thrilled by that. As you finally make your way back into the room, and the kids kind of in a more quiet atmosphere, you can begin to sort of get them tended to and washed up and fed.
They can sleep in my bed.
Okay. As you kind of all relax once again. What would you like to do?
Star, do we need to get those stones back, or do we decide we're holding on to them?
We keep them for now.
Right. Why don't you get some sleep?
I want to go to a temple if it doesn't bother you guys. I know they have a couple here, and I'd like to go to one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you go into a temple to pray. The rest of you doing anything? Are you guys doing anything until the delegation arrives, or are you guys planning on resting until
I think there's a few of us that could do with a few days of rest, huh? Friends.
For the most part, resting, but Star is going to be spending a very little amount of time with everyone else, just sort of wandering around on his own.
Okay. Because I'll say that with it's 2 days resting to get each injury level down. So even those of you that have even will start with 3, it's only going to take 6 days. So you could get rid of all your injury levels before the delegation arrives. If that's
Yay, that's something at least.
Yeah.
Hey, Sean.
Yeah.
Can I make okay, I understand that my injury levels could go down, but can Lil keep the scar?
Oh no, the scars. The injuries
it's permanent.
Stay. Yeah, the scar stays until you use it's healing of 6th level or higher.
So
okay, cool.
It's
cool,
just
cool.
like the points or like the levels that go away.
Yeah, the levels go away. The injuries, unless I tell you, stay. The paranoia goes away.
Okay, cool.
For Star, because that times out after a couple days. But the sort of bludgeonings and the more permanent injuries, those remain.
Cool.
So we take a very long rest.
Yeah. Is there like a library or something similar in this town?
They have some other archives with scrolls and other sort of written information. Nothing as vast as what you'd find in like Randall, where you're from, but they do have some bits of information. Why? What are you looking for specifically?
What exactly? I don't think there's like... Well, I guess I would start with sort of basic anatomy books.
Okay.
And
are you looking to build a
biology? Yeah, I'm looking to build a prosthetic or some sort of something that would help Star.
Okay. And this is what you don't need to rest for injury points or anything, do you? Or are you going to be resting?
No, I don't have any injury points. I'm
okay.
Good.
So you've got a lot of time to work with then. Because you guys have about like 9 days to work with. You could work on something like that if you want, and especially with the help of some of your healers in the group. Den has some medicinal experience.
I am trained in medicine.
And Lil does too. And with some other findings you can get some anatomy stuff, and with your knowledge of engineering, you could begin working on something like that. I'd say there is going to be a gold cost to it, because there are some materials that you're going to need to acquire, and you're going to have to do a bit of trading. Well, not really gold cost, but how much do you guys have in like materials and stuff right now for trade?
I don't think I have anything, really. I mean, like, I've got my like extra weapons that I have in case something happens to my thunder cannon, but
I have some bitter tea herbs and some aloe plants. I have some extra wine.
Star has bits that currently would just be being left in the room, so that would be actually just be the same sort of. That'd be the cooking herbs, the demon chunks, the aloe vera type stuff, and the tea herbs.
I have some
Sorry,
shiny things.
We also have so many oatcakes.
I have so many oatcakes. I have a couple of like shiny cleric things that I don't really use because I'm not like a super traditional cleric.
Yeah, I have a censer that I could give up. Probably some incense.
I also have a censer. I have so much incense.
I will say one thing everyone notices quite quickly. Every time Star starts doing something he needs two-hand saw, he just casts Mage Hand.
You've had 3 hands this whole time.
That would definitely help you in situations like picking locks and stuff too.
I've got the mage hand leg domain because I am an arcane trickster. I can use that to pick locks at standardly anyway.
Yeah.
We also have a bag of diamonds.
Wait, what?
What? Oh, we do.
Why do we keep leaving? Why do we
bag of
keep leaving
diamonds.
Dylan in charge of the bag of holding? We always have so much stuff that we find out about like 6 weeks later.
Yeah, you were given diamonds by the by the guard captain or the commandant in exchange for
Buddy.
Then we're okay, I think, maybe.
How many diamonds do you have and how much are they worth?
It just says bag of diamonds.
Oh my god. Why do you guys leave Dylan in charge of this?
Remember that time I was like, someone else should have the bag of holding, and you guys were like, no, it's fine.
To be fair, I don't think you said.
Yeah.
Because sure I did.
Oh, they turned on you quick,
we're not
huh?
using gold value while we're on Growler, so I
Yeah.
think for the most part we didn't get an actual value.
So they're
Yeah.
like 7,000 a piece.
I think it was
That's
one
what I have in
diamond
my notes.
It was like 1 diamond for each of you that dealt with the task. And it was going to be like, because that was your initial payment, essentially, because they didn't give you gold for your initial payment, which was like 500 gold pieces. So I think it was about like 500 gold pieces worth of diamonds or something like that. I'll say that if you want to trade the diamonds, you could get enough materials to make this hand.
Okay.
Because you're gonna need some. It's gonna be a magical thing.
Yeah.
You're also gonna need the hand. The part of the hand that's still there is basically useless at this point. Might require a bit of surgery.
As long as the new hand still has claws, it's fine.
Oh yeah, it's gonna have like, I want it to have like Black Panther like retractable claws.
Okay.
So that he can still like function like a normal cat man.
Okay, so is anybody helping with this? Oh, Den, are you willing to help him with this with the anatomy stuff? Lil, you're going to be resting, right? For a while.
Yes, I'm going to be doing lots of prayer, but if I can come in and out or whatever and be helpful, I am trained in medicine as well.
Yes.
I only have 1 injury point, so...
Last thing I'll say is, Star one day does just leave all the metal discs out for Sad L with a note saying, found the rest in the lair, with an arrow pointing to the one that Star thinks he got the feedback off grabbing, but he's not too sure, so there's a question mark next to it.
Okay. And Sarah, I'd like you to say that what you just put in the Roll20 chat out for everyone to hear.
What? Huh?
Yeah,
what?
was that?
I didn't type anything.
Yeah?
So you were right. It's in my notes. When I took notes, it's there. 500 gold pieces per
said,
diamond.
my apologies.
My apologies. It's here. You were right. I was wrong. I can't remember.
Very quick to turn on the DM, this party is.
Very quick, very quick. Everybody's losing a hand next episode.
Hey,
Okay,
hey,
listen, I already lost an arm.
I was honest about Moonbeam. I was honest about other things. I made one faux pas.
If I needed to do another Constitution save, which led to this whole damn mess.
You, sir, have a problem with cutting off people's arms.
I do love it so.
Stop disarming people.
This is the second time.
He's like Luke Skywalker.
I don't know what his problem is. I just can't put my finger on it.
Boo.
All Dylan's checks to make this hand now are going to be at disadvantage for that pun.
You're at disadvantage.
So what we're going to do then is we're going to do some checks for you to construct this hand for for Star.
Psych! It's for myself. Ha! Got him.
So here's how here are the checks I want you to make. It's going to do 3 checks. Do you have tinkerers or is it?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so it's going to be and either one of you can make these. It's going to be a medicine check for the anatomy. It's going to be a tinkering check to construct the hand. What was the last one I was going to have you do? Oh, an Arcana check for the enchanting to have it work. So, in the order we're going to do this is actually we're going to do the medicine check first for the design. So it's going to be with you guys helping each other. It's going to be at advantage.
Okay.
And you essentially, each one of these is taking up a day, and you guys have 9 days. So just don't fail 6 times.
Okay.
So the medicine check with advantage can come from either one of you.
Yes, I think that will be
I think we'll leave that to Den.
Since my wisdom is a 20 and I have proficiency in medicine.
Okay. Day 1.
It's the thing that I know how to do. 22
22.
for medicine.
Very good. Yeah, these are not easy checks, but that is a success. You are able to draw out and assist Sadel in the design that will be needed for a functioning hand. Probably more than functioning. Probably a pretty damn good hand, and especially looking to tabaxi anatomy. So you get sort of the dexterity and the claws and that sort of stuff in there. You spend a lot of time sort of creeping on some tabaxis and inspecting their hands.
Holding lots of tabaxi hands.
Yeah. So you get that done pretty easily. Then you move on to assisting with the tinkering. So I'm going to have you make, or no. Yeah, this is going to be the tinkering for the construction of the basic metal hand that will go in its place.
Can I, since he's the tinkerer at this point and I'm sort of the backup, can I bless him for these?
Is it guidance or bless?
Bless. I don't have guidance.
Yeah.
But I can cast bless.
Yeah, and it
What's
lasts
that? I don't know what. I don't read my spells.
I know that I'm resting.
Is that
so
bless for saving throws? Help
No,
me, Paladin.
it's not that I don't think you can use it. It was just the time and how many times you can cast it. If it's going to be a full day worth of stuff.
bless
Okay.
lasts,
It lasts for
up to a minute. Yeah.
That's not super helpful.
Guidance would be a little more useful because you can just keep doing that throughout
That's
the
a
day.
fun cantrip that I don't know how to cast.
Lil, are you saying that you have it?
I have bless. I don't have guidance. So I was gonna say, since if she's helping him do it and I'm trying to be, I don't know, there, but like resting, I can just be like, while I just sit there and hold my head, and I'm like, I hate my life.
Yeah, it would help for a little bit of it. I'll say it lowers the DC a little bit. You guys spending time casting bless, because it helps in part of the process, but not throughout the entire thing.
Okay.
And what attribute do Tinker Tools use?
This one's gonna be dexterity.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
And you have advantage.
A 19.
19. That is good. Especially with the lowered DC on that. You spend the second day pretty quickly. You buy the materials, which are expensive. You make sure you get the best metals you can. You make sure you have to buy some enchanting supplies, some rare gems, some different sorts of herbs and other things used in the incenses to help kind of imbue these contraptions, and some of the other binding agents that are necessary for the enchanting process, which are pretty hefty in price. You spend that day, you gather the materials, and you spend that day constructing the base claw, keeping very meticulous eye on the size of Star's hands and all that stuff so it actually fits. And at the end,
sorry, I actually have a design question.
Yeah.
For Sadell. Sadell, when you make the thing, the hand, is it possible to...
Possible.
The DC for these checks goes down by 5.
To 0.
It goes down to 1.
Sadell, is it... So when you design it, I know you're making it look like a claw, but would it be possible to put like a little design or like imprint or something in it?
Yeah, I could design something on it.
I just have this, I sort of know what he's going through a little bit, but I have this little symbol. My god is under like a warrior god, and I thought it might be nice if we like put her symbol on it. Maybe as like a reminder of like how strong Star is and stuff. Maybe it'll make him feel better. I don't know. It's just like a thought that I had.
I like that. I think I think I could engrave that symbol. I think maybe if I engraved yours as well as mine and Lil's. That way, we're all working on this. I think it'd be a good sign of faith from all of us.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll just describe to him, I guess. It's on my holy symbol, but so the symbol of Seraphine, which is derived from the symbol of Alarius, the like warrior goddess, I guess, of the pantheon, which is a broken, so it's a big X like this, but it's a broken sword on one side with a lightning bolt going through for like power and like the strength of warriors and stuff. So I guess I draw it if I can, or I just describe it to him or something, so we can put that on there somewhere.
So you engrave the symbol of the symbol that then describes you of Seraphine, as well as a symbol of Aricia and a symbol of Lelavoth on the back of the hand. Okay.
Just so he knows that we're all watching over him.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Okay.
What's Lilavoth's like? Kind of what does she kind of stand for?
Change and you can go ahead.
Basically like the cycle of life and death. It's the whole movement through that nature. Basically, she kind of rules over growth and all those good things.
Okay, cool.
And it's the symbol. It's the moon, crescent moon.
Cool. Yeah. So I would like to, as I'm making it, carve the broken sword with the lightning bolt, the moon, and the golden bell.
Okay. So go ahead, and I guess you finish that day, getting everything ready, and the next day is you have everything together and have this construction and got the straps for it, so it's on. You begin to work on the enchantment of it. It's good those first 2 checks pass, because this one's going to take a bit longer to work on. It's a series, or it's a prolonged process of enchanting it. So I'm going to have you make 1 check using Arcana, and again you have advantage on it because you're being assisted.
17.
Okay, so it takes you a little bit longer to get through it. The enchanting process is an intensive one. It takes basically the rest of the time that you guys have off here to continue with the enchanting, and it's just full-on days of of intricately carving in engravings and laying them with some of the emerald dust that you need to, continuing the incantations that you're used to. And you're familiar with enchanting, you do this all the time, but you pay extra attention to detail to go through all of this. Is there anything else anybody is doing during this time that they need to narrate other than, going and praying and resting and that sort of stuff?
Can I, when I am praying, pray a little bit over my bottles of wine that I have tincturing?
Yes, you can. You can continue to work on those.
At one point, I guess it would be natural for Stars to sort of say, he's going to get the broken hand cut off. Just because it is basically dead weight at this point, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So sort of after a few days, he sort of mentions that he's gonna go get it cut off and dealt with properly.
Okay.
If you want one of us to do it, I'm like a trained doctor, so.
Yes, sure. Why not? I thank you.
If you trust us.
Of course I do.
I'll do it.
I'll assist.
You guys knock him out first. Which isn't hard to do.
Drink this! It's just a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah, you get him. Yeah, and without going into too much detail about it, but you are able to sort of anesthetize him the best you can and surgically and carefully remove the from the wrist down, essentially. Not doing any more damage to the arm, hoping that one day you might be able to restore it. However, for now.
That's the plan.
And
yeah, can we clean and keep a finger bone or something? I know that sounds really morbid, but just
in case.
In case.
Yeah, there's some unfractured ones in there somewhere. You can.
Hey, Dylan, put it in the bag of holding. 1 star finger bone.
We'll forget about it for 6 months.
Yeah, no. It's so easy to put things in there and have you guys forget about them and bring them back later on. And
yeah. If I can, I'll try to just put him out.
Yeah.
I'll help her
for the thing,
and that's easy enough to do. And you are able to deal with it and heal it, and the arm is taken care of. And you sort of follow Sadel's guidance too, knowing how he's making the hand and how it's going to fit and work. Are able to make it work from that. So if nothing else has happened during those weeks, there are a couple of things that. Yeah.
Just a small thing.
Okay.
Just at night at some point before I go to bed, I'm gonna take out the Kraken idol that I have and try to talk to it and see if I can. So I have tongues as a spell, so I'll cast that before I do it, so I can understand any language that I hear, and I'll try to talk to it and see if anybody talks back. It in more than whispers, if they say anything that I can understand, since based on what Sadel told me, it's a magic walkie-talkie.
Okay.
Hello?
Breaker 19er.
Anyone in there? I know you're trying to talk to me.
You don't really get a response. It doesn't, again, based on what Sadel's told you, you don't imagine you're going to be able to get a full sort of response out of it until it's repaired. You do, with your tongue spell, though, you're able to pick up, bits and pieces in there, fragments of language, and you don't understand the words, but you'll kind of hear the bases of different languages. You hear, abyssal, celestial, infernal, primordial, a lot of these kind of ancient, for rare languages being spoke through these through this idol.
Can I tell what they're saying? It says I can understand any language I hear.
Yeah, you can understand the language, and you're getting pieces kind of and Now, here.
So confirmation that it's broken.
Yeah.
Dang it.
But it's still coming across as kind of like that.
Okay.
Dish tata. What does that mean? No.
Parcel tongue.
However, as you're listening to this and kind of by yourself and focusing on it, there is suddenly kind of this twinge, and you feel something sort of intruding upon you for a second.
Oh, not again.
And a voice speaks out in your head. Denowin.
Oh, shit.
Is that you? Can you hear me?
I feel like I recognize his voice.
You do. It's a very familiar voice to you. It's the voice of your father.
Hey, Dad.
Hello, daughter. Where are you?
If I tell you, you're just gonna show up.
That's what your sister said.
Yeah, I asked her the same thing. Listen, you're predictable.
Are you still on Groudar?
Yes.
Good to know. Your sister said you needed help.
Yeah.
I can help you if you need it. You need only ask. You're not going to like this. I've known you were alive since you left. I let you be. I wasn't thrilled about you joining pirates, but you have to, I see the look on your face. You have to know if it happens among the sea, I know of it. You couldn't hide for long. But I let you be. I realized I pushed too hard.
Well, that's the understatement of the fucking century.
I know. Your mother gave me... She gave me a hard time.
Good.
For what happened and you leaving.
I can say this because you're not in front of me. Mum deserves better than you give her.
I know. You all do.
What did Ephraim tell you?
She told me of a portal, of some disruption that you need our... Well, that you may require our assistance with. Listen, this falls at a rather opportune moment, actually.
Everything always does with you.
I can provide you the assistance that you need. Because, well, I think it'll work in both of our favors. I know you don't want me to call upon any sort of family connections for your assistance or your aid. I know you've drifted to become estranged from us, and I know that forcing you to come home is... It's only going to drive you farther away. Your mother has made that abundantly clear.
Yeah, I've still got all those titles you gave me.
Well, they're still yours.
Is that your arrogance or mine, Dad?
To business then. We've been offered a bit of an arrangement from...
Ondake.
No. From the capital.
Alright.
Well, it could improve our family station quite a bit. And well, I think it works in your interest too. They offered us a position among the Glahid. They requested that your brother join us, or join their ranks. That he undergo the training and that he become one of the protectors.
Neros?
Yes. Of course, it's a prestigious position, and it could do much to improve our family station. And of course, it seems as though you need their assistance as well within Graudar to help close this breach. That's why I offered them in return that you, and not Neros, join their ranks, undergo the training, become one of the protectorates of, well, the breach.
You kidding?
I've watched you for some time now. I've kept tabs on you through contacts that we have on the sea. I know of the things you've done, things you've accomplished, the way of life you've pursued. You're more capable than anyone I can think of to take this position, to train, become a member of the Glahid, to fight these planar incursions, to stop the creatures that lurk in the depths from wreaking havoc upon the surface. Can't say it'll be easy. It'll take time, but I think you can do it.
Yeah, all you ever wanted me to do was, like, put on a dress and sit in court.
And that was my greatest mistake. Not thinking about your wishes and what you wanted to accomplish. You can turn this down if you wish, and I can still leverage enough pull to have a few members of the Glahid travel to Graudar and help seal this portal. But I hope you'll take this opportunity. You wouldn't have to leave anything behind. You wouldn't have to be locked away within the walls. You could travel, do the things you wish, and do the good work of our people.
And you help me close a portal to the land of the Fae, whatever that is.
I believe they'll try.
I assume part of this deal is that I come back home.
That's not necessary. If you don't wish to return, your mother and I would greatly enjoy for you to visit us once again, but you would need to travel to Selene and be formally inducted. If you don't wish to make this decision now, I won't force you.
No, I feel like I've already made one, and that's what scares me. Because I always thought you didn't know anything about me.
I learned more watching, listening these past few years, something I should have done when you were a child. I know we can't take those years back, and I can't redeem myself for what I've done. I only hope you'll accept this for the gift that I intended it to be.
And you can send people here to help.
Just say the word.
Do it.
Does this mean you'll accept their offer?
Yeah.
I'm very proud of you for everything you've done.
Me too, Dad.
I don't know how long it'll take for them to arrive. Might take a few weeks. Well, they're coming from quite a distance, as you know.
Yeah.
But they'll be there. Hell or high water.
Is that a wave joke?
Things have changed since you left. I really hope that you'll come home, see your siblings, see your mother. I can't say that she'll be thrilled about the tattoos, but she'd love to see you.
Yeah, funny story. I don't get tattoos for other people.
I know.
Tell Mum and F. I don't really care about the rest of them. That I have some friends that would love to meet them. And we might be by.
I'll tell her. Stay safe, Denowin. Den.
Thanks, Dad.
I'll contact you soon.
I'm sure you will.
With that, you feel the connection fade.
Where am I right now?
Currently in your room.
I put my fist straight through the door.
You guys, Saddle's out kind of chanting in the common area. The rest of you guys sort of wandering about. And there's suddenly kind of as suddenly a blue fist just goes straight through one of the wooden doors.
Dan, you okay?
Yeah,
What did the door do?
nothing.
Is it, like, barred? Do you need help getting out?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. Sure?
Yeah, my dad called. He just...
Oh.
Yeah. It's fine.
Okay. If you want to talk about it.
Yep.
Okay.
Lil wanders back off.
Okay. So the rest of the days pass. Eventually, Saddle triumphantly emerges with a hand in hand, presenting it before you. Star, your wounds have healed since the surgery, and you see this perfectly constructed iron or steel and kind of brass inlaid claw. You can see the intricate rune work that makes its way up to the tips. And on the back of it, you see the engravings of the deities of your friends, kind of in a triangle on the back of the paw.
You know, I had this whole speech prepared before but the words aren't coming to me. But Star, we couldn't do half the things that we've done without you. And you can only do so much with Mage Hand, so I would like to present you with this new hand. We spent most of these days working on it. This symbol, pointing to the crescent moon, this is from Lil. It's the circle of life. And you may have lost one hand, but we're gonna give life back to it with this. And this one, the sword and the lightning bolt, we'll give it strength, and we'll give you strength, the strength of the warrior from Den. And this bell is from me. And it stands for progress. Now, where I come from, your family can't get anywhere without making progress in the business area or agriculture or magic or anything like that. You'll kick to the curb without it. So we hope that you'll take this loss of your hand, instead of being a setback, let it be a step forward for you. And I hand it over to him.
Star takes the hand and sort of, while just looking down at it, just, you all made this for me?
Yeah. I may have sold the diamonds that we were given, but we figured you being in tip-top shape was more important than some shiny rocks.
Worth it.
He starts sort of shuddering and just, but after everything, after all of that, and he just starts crying with that.
I give him a hug.
Lil runs up and just
Group
gets on in there.
It's just, after all of that, I led you guys into the worst fight of our lives, just because because I thought I had an easy answer to all of our problems, and we almost died.
It wasn't just your choice. We were all saying, yeah, this makes sense, let's go. It wasn't just you. It's all of us.
Yeah.
And maybe that fight was harder than we thought, but we survived, and it was a fight that was coming whether we wanted it to or not.
And we will always back you up. That's what we're here for. We're here to have each other's backs.
And we just, we put those symbols on there to remind you of that. That we're always watching you. And if we're not, some of us believe in gods that are, so.
Star just sort of puts the hand where it should be and sort of starts doing up all the straps and making sure it's all attached.
Okay.
Just
Yeah, you begin to pull. There's a few simple straps that tie around your wrist. The whole thing kind of hangs a little bit loose at first. In Saddle, you can tell in this, it does require attunement as you put it on, and so you sit down and begin to concentrate. And as you take this rest and meditate on the hand, kind of feeling out, kind of like with the ghost limbs, and the phantom pains you've been feeling, you imagine your hand being there. And as you look over, you watch as the runes along the edge suddenly kind of begin to light up all around it, spiraling and then down the fingers. as this happens, there's a glow, and the 3 symbols of the deities that are on the back glow as well with it. Suddenly, the end of the fingers, claws erupt from each of them, and you feel your hand tighten and clench, and you feel yourself able to move this hand as if it was your own. There's sort of that like grinding of metal a bit as you open and close it. Nothing terribly loud, but you feel it there once again.
Thank you, all of you. With this, I'm sure I'll be better than ever.
And as he says that, you all hear outside some commotion. There's some like calling in the streets, and you hear a horn sound, this kind of
I'll go look out the window.
Okay. You guys all rush over to the windows with him?
Yeah.
As you make your way over and look outside, you can see a cluster of men and women on horseback coming riding into the city. One at the front wearing golden armor, kind of flashing in the sunlight, one towards the back, or 2 flanking him carrying the banners of Ivrandal, riding into the city of 1,000 Steps and up. You hear the sound of horse hooves echoing up from the city streets, and you see the tabaxi sort of separating as the Ivrandalian delegation approaches.
Well,
Yeah, we should go talk to them.
I'll race you there. And what I'd like to do, because I'm assuming the ziggurat is like sloped downwards.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop out the window. I'm going to use my new hand just to like steady myself on the side of it and just slide down the building.
Okay. As your hand digs into the side, it digs in further than you expected. The claw is incredibly sharp, digging into the side of the stone, and you slide down it. The hand not cramping, not buckling under the weight as you descend down to the ground level. All the rest of you sort of rushing behind, making your way down.
Oh, wait, before I go down.
Okay.
But there are kids here somewhere.
There are. They've sort of been staying with you. They've been clean. They've been kind of enjoying the city. I assume some of you guys have shown them around as you tell them the delegation will be arriving.
Yeah, no, I'll go get them and kind of point out through the window. That's them.
Okay.
They made it.
The kids with excitement seeing the banners as they pull themselves up to the window said, let's go.
All right, let's go. I pick up the smallest one. I put him on my back. Do a piggyback ride.
Can I cast my mastiff and put the other 2 on it so they can ride the mastiff down?
Sure.
Yay!
Can ride down to the bottom, all of you, with Saddle and Dan sort of running as fast as they can behind with the kids in tow. Lucius and Barb coming along too. You all rush down the ziggurat to meet the Ivrandalian delegation. And that's where we will go ahead and end for today. And pick up this next time. I know I don't want to end 2. I want to keep going, but we've already almost hit 4 hours, I think.
Yeah.
And I want, I don't want to just do the rest of the campaign without 2 of our players.
We should do the whole campaign right now.
I know. Well, I'm heartbroken too because we're taking off next. Or I'm not going to be doing this next week. And I really
2 whole weeks.
I know. But we will pick up with our one-shot next week, which will be a lot of fun. We'll get to continue and see how things pan out now that the Ivrandalians have arrived and what may be in store there. So thank you for everyone for watching us, and thank you. I hope you all enjoyed. Savannah, you want to wrap us up with all of our thanks?
Yeah, sure. I usually start off with maps, but we didn't have any maps this week. I'll go over to our world map, which I love for everyone to see because it's so lovely. So that's our world map that I'm showing right now from Roll20. Most of our maps are made through Incarnate is the maps. Incomptech is the music. They're very similar, and I'm just now realizing this, like 12 weeks in. Incarnate is what our DM, Sean, makes our maps through. So this is our world map, or the map of Graldar, I guess, not the whole world. But so if you like that, if you're looking for software to make your maps through, Incarnate is great. Check it out. It makes beautiful maps like the one that we have. Incomptech is what all our music is through, because the name's very similar. So if you like our music, all of our ambient music and things that we use, whether for our plethora of RP situations or combat, all of our fun music, we get all of that through Incomptech. It's royalty free, so if you're looking for music to use in your own stream or even your own home campaign for some nice ambiance, check out Incomptech. It's great. There's a lot of great stuff on there. All of our character art that you can see on our overlay was made by our wonderful artist friend Julie. So if you like that stuff, and if you'd like to know more about her art or when she's opening commissions and that kind of thing, let us know. You can contact any of us on Twitter or the Survivor Complex Twitter, which we have now, which is at Survivor Complex, or at UPick Gaming on Twitter. Contact any of us. We can put you in touch with her, so she can let you know when she's opening commissions and doing projects and that kind of thing. If you like our overlays, which we have a couple of, and you're looking to have some overlays for your own stream, whether it's D&D or video games or any kind of thing, art, any kind of thing you love to stream, Sarah, our wonderful player that plays Lilibet, made those for us. So if you're interested in getting an overlay from her, contact her via Twitter. Her Twitter handle is above her face right now, so contact her about overlays and things like that. Other than that, we will still be here, same time, same place next week with our one-shot, which Alex is going to be DMing in, and most, if not all of us, are going to be playing in, so tune back in for that, and then a week from then, we will be back with our major campaign. Until then, UPick Gaming, we're still trying to meet our follower and subscriber goals to do our dice giveaway. So if you love dice, if you want to win some excellent dice, follow at UPick Gaming on Twitter, as well as subscribe to the YouTube and follow us here on Twitch. And some really exciting news that we've been talking about on Twitter this week is that you can now subscribe to UPick Gaming on Twitch. So if you like what we're doing here and you want to be an even bigger part of it than you already are, click that subscribe button, give us your Twitch subscription, we would love that. And yeah, that's all I got, I think.
All right. Well, yeah, I think that's everything. Got all the announcements. So I guess we will see you all back here next week for our one shot, and then a week after that to continue our campaign. So everybody have a wonderful evening, wonderful rest of your weekend, and until next time, good night, Internet.
Good night, Internet.